This is the Redbird Rush Hour on KMOX. Sponsored by Busey Bank. Building community with Busey Bank. Beyond the game.
All right, guys, Thursday on Redbird Rush Hour. Matt Pauley, Kevin Wheeler with you here, hanging out, talking ball for an hour. That would be baseball for an hour. Cardinals off today, so we got a good little reset after the first 6 games of the season. They head into a 3-game series this weekend in Detroit, and then after that to Washington, D.C. to take on the Nationals. And I guess, Matt, like we'll zoom in on some individual things as we go along and some like specific topics and things, but overarching views today to start with for the first 6 games. It's mostly positive.
Yeah.
Nothing's going to be entirely positive, and it's not necessarily predictive of how the next 6 months are going to go. But all we can look at is what we have in front of us.
Oliver Marmol going into the season said he wanted his team to be a relentless team that was hard to play against. And I think we saw some version of that over the first 6 days. Their ability to come back, their ability to find ways to win games in different types of ways. I think a lot more positive than negative. I'm not crowning this team as an above 500 team or a division contender or anything like that because of 6 games. But I do think that we should listen when things are said to us. And then when things are said to us, we should discern whether or not that's true or not. And if the overarching thing from Oliver Marmol coming into the season was he wants that relentless team, well, I think we're seeing a version of that.
At least to start, right? I mean, like, it's good to come out of the gates with that. If you want that to be a defining trait of your season, even if it means, look, even if we're talking about 78 wins, if that's a defining trait of your season that they compete, that's a good thing for a young team.
Sure.
It's a good thing for a veteran team too, but when you're more of a veteran team, the expectation is going to be more about winning. It's going to be more about get to 90 wins or more and get in the postseason and make a run. For this team, that may or may not be realistic. I mean, there's a scenario where it would be, but it takes everything going right. It takes Dustin May being the better version of himself from 4 years ago. It takes improvements from Liberatore and McGreevy and Palante. It takes, these young guys on offense. It takes Gorman and Walker being at least contributors. It takes JJ being really good, which I think he's going to be. But it takes all of those things without any major injuries.
Right.
So it's not that there isn't a path. It's just a difficult path to expect. But if you're building a competitive environment and in a competitive mindset, that's something that can stick beyond this year, which is why I think that's what matters.
The learning how to win and what it feels like to win and the type of effort that you need to put forth to make special things happen, that's something that can be, it can start to come in this year. Like that opening day win when they came back for the victory, that's a really good experience for some of these young guys to have and to know when you are stringing together 7 straight hits, there's some luck involved in it.
Sure.
There's
some bad pitching.
Yeah.
But you still got to take advantage. Yeah.
What does that feel like? What does that look like? What does it take for that to happen? And what kind of environment do you want inside of the dugout as that is happening all at the same time? Like this, it's all the pieces of the puzzle. It's all part of the recipe, whatever stupid cliche you want to use with to building this thing up to where the organization eventually wants to be.
Yeah. And this is the thing that is really simple about this is that every 6 games, every 10 games, every month, everything is just about stacking. We're stacking performances. So when you have 6, think of it playing like you're playing poker and you've got, a whole table full of chips. If you've only got 6 chips on the table, there aren't that many for everybody to have. When you get to the point where it's more like 100 of them, they're spread around a little bit more. You have a better idea of who's playing better, who's getting the card. And the idea here is that we don't have enough currency at the moment to know if anything we're seeing, good or bad, is going to be real or sustainable. But it doesn't mean that you can't enjoy it. And it doesn't mean that there isn't hope that comes from seeing it.
And it doesn't mean that some of it isn't real and sustainable.
And look, of what we've seen, some things are going to end up being very real and others are going to be like, well, that was nothing.
Yeah. But I do think we need to remember, like, there are talented dudes on this team. Alec Burleson winning a Silver Slugger wasn't a fluke. Mason Wynn winning a Gold Glove certainly wasn't a fluke.
Right.
Ivan Herrera hitting home runs at the pace that he has over his career is not a fluke, and that's why you hope that he's in the lineup for 150 plus games a season. Like there's a JJ Weatherholt and the pedigree that goes along with his bat. That's not a fluke. So there are legitimate individuals. The characteristics of Riley O'Brien's pitches, that's not a fluke, Kevin.
Well, I mean, he's throwing 100 with movement, you know, and he's throwing it he's hitting good quality spots too. I mean, he's been able to get the fastball up in the zone at times, which plays at 100 miles an hour. Even if it registers as a sinker, it's still a quality pitch. Tarek Skubal throws sinkers at the top of the zone.
Yeah.
They're just 98-mile-an-hour sinkers. So it's like it doesn't have to be textbook perfect, but those characteristics are good. If there's a thing that I really want to always emphasize this early, is that you have to be careful with assuming that everything's meaningful.
Correct.
Right? Because some things are not, and that's what we're getting into here. And other things that we think are bad now will probably be better. Like, as an example, I think Matt Swanson's going to be a lot better.
Yeah, the bullpen after 3 days is not representative of what the bullpen is going to be.
The bullpen the last couple of days has been lights out.
Yeah.
So it's going to vary. And then what it comes down to with a young team is, how long does it take them to get to the point where what they do isn't variable?
Mm-hmm.
And if it stays variable, then you're not an everyday player for the most part. Because if you keep riding the wave, at some point they're going to find somebody that's more consistent.
Yeah, and it should be that way.
100%.
That's how the business works.
Yeah,
that's what you want to see.
The guys that get paid in this sport, in any sport, are the guys that are repeatable.
Yeah.
You're the same guy almost every day.
I can't tell you how many ball players who did not make it or who did not have as long of a career as they would have liked openly acknowledge the fact that what they didn't know how to do was how to have a great day and then have another great day tomorrow and another great day, or at least a great day today and a good day tomorrow. And I think those guys that know how to post and know how to show up every single day and have a baseline level more often than not, like you, I'm just repeating what you just said, but in a different way. Those are the guys that find success. And those are the guys that get your 10-year pension because you knew how to do it every single day.
It largely is the difference between the major leagues and the minor leagues.
Yeah.
The guys that are in the minor leagues are the guys that either haven't had the chance yet or have gotten the chance and haven't showed that they can be the same guy every day.
Every single guy at AAA and a lot of guys at AA right now could walk into the big leagues tomorrow and have a good day.
And look the part.
Yeah.
You're big, you throw hard, you swing the bat hard, you can run, but it'll vary too much.
Right. But every single one of those guys, they can look good. They can look terrible tomorrow, but if you get them on the right day, they can look good tomorrow. What they can't do is they can't look good 4 times in a row.
That's right. All right, we got a few more. We're going to take a quick break. We come back. We're going to look at some things, more specific guys. We're going to look a little bit at Matthew Liberatore. There are some really interesting numbers out today that are early, but based on the research that we have at our disposal, even early, they can be telling in a way. They can give us some cues. And some Cardinals showed up on a list of people that have made some of the biggest improvements in certain areas. We'll hit a couple of those guys. We'll talk a bit more about the bullpen. We'll take a lot of questions here. I definitely want to get to the Edwin Nunez question because I did not expect an Edwin Nunez question. But, hey, what the heck?
Let's do it.
We'll do that coming up, too, here on KMOX.
For 100 years, KMOX has been a part of St. Louis. Now, those moments live on, preserved, remastered, and ready to be heard again. Discover KMOX from the Archives, a podcast featuring classic audio from a century of service. Sponsored by Overhead Door Company of St. Louis, the genuine, the original, the KMOX from the Archives podcast. Available now at KMOX100.com or wherever you get your podcasts.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance tech at a university, he knows ordering from multiple suppliers takes time away from keeping their arena up and running. That's why he counts on Grainger to get everything he needs, from lighting and HVAC parts to plumbing supplies, all in one place. And with fast, dependable delivery, he's stocked and ready for the next tip-off. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Why'd I go to the doctor? Working on the farm, my heart kept skipping a beat. I didn't think much of it. But my daughters made me get checked out. Turns out I have atrial fibrillation, which increases the risk of stroke about 5 times.
Symptoms like irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness can come and go. But if it's AFib, the risk of stroke remains. If you have symptoms, contact a doctor.
I'm so glad I did.
Visit notimetowait.com. Sponsored by Bristol Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
Do you ever feel like people are mumbling more than they used to? Or maybe conversations at restaurants and family gatherings have gotten harder to follow. If this sounds familiar, it might be time to learn more about your hearing. That's why we're inviting you to a special lunch and learn at the Audiology Center. This event is on April 29th for various time slots. It's a relaxed and friendly gathering where our certified audiologists will talk about hearing and hearing loss, answer your questions, and share how today's hearing aids can help you connect with the moments that matter most. Hearing loss often happens slowly, and many people don't realize how much they're missing. It's important to know how untreated hearing loss can negatively affect you in the long term. It's a no-pressure event, just good conversation and good information, and lunch is on us. Seats are limited, so please call 636-441-7470 to reserve your spot for our free lunch and learn at the Audiology Center on April 29th. Take the first step towards hearing more clearly.
This is the Let's Revitalize Our Neighborhoods commitment. This is the Roll Up Our Sleeves and Pitch In commitment. This is Busey, where our commitment to strengthen our communities is a top priority. Through energetic, engaged volunteers, through monetary support, community leadership, and advocacy. Because Busey is more than a bank that does well, we're a bank that does good. Busey Bank, building business, growing wealth, since 1868. Member FDIC.
Spring cleaning is upon us, but there's one meaningful box that you don't throw away when cleaning out your closet. It's the box filled with your family's important videotapes, film reels, and photos. Hi, I'm Adam Baselogger.
And I'm Nick Mako. We started Legacy Box over a decade ago to help families organize and update their analog media to digital.
Legacy Box is simple and easy. It works and is safe. Over 1 million families have trusted Legacy Box.
And Legacy Box has been featured in Good Housekeeping, The Today Show, and Rachel Ray.
Legacy Box is like magic, converting your shoebox of memories to the cloud or thumb drive, ready to watch and share.
Declutter your closet by digitizing your media. Become more organized and accomplished, knowing your family's recorded past is safe forever. Take advantage of our spring cleaning sale going on now. It's the easiest task to check off your to-do list.
For a limited time, you can get started for just $9 a tape. Visit legacybox.com/radio to get our $9 sale. That's legacybox.com/radio to get our $9 offer. Legacybox.com/radio.
Traffic from the michaelsflooringoutlet.com traffic center.
Well, unfortunately, still no change with our crashes out there. This traffic reports the service of I-3 broadband. If you're on westbound 64, we still have this crash, only the right lane open. The crash is under the Kings Highway overpass involving a semi. It's a solid jam back past Grand, almost to the Forest Park Grand exit on westbound 64. Once you get past it, it's slow from Spady out to 270, doing parts of the trouble on 270, and then slow again from 364 out to 70. The trouble on 270 is still there. It looks like they're close to wrapping it up, but the left lane's still closed. North 270 between 64 and Ladue. North 270 is jammed. South of Manchester, South 270 Gawkers are backed up past Olive looking at it. Southbound 170 is on the brakes from Delmar down to 64. We had a stall eastbound 64 at Hanley that was impacting you. Westbound 70 Riverview out through to almost Lucas Hunt's heavy. After that, it really doesn't look so bad till you get to 94. It's slow 94 to Zumbel. If you're on southbound 55, just a little busy south of Arsenal to Bates, south of Butler Hill to Merrimack Bottom, slow Z down through the McNutt area. Eastbound 70 through Packers Avenue is backed up 64. Midway between 157 and 159, you've got delays. Spring is here. Time to toss out that dusty treadmill and your laggy cable internet. Upgrade to 100% in-home fiber from i3 Broadband. Plus, we're springing forward with our longest price guarantees ever on our Geek Speed internet services. No data caps, just pure speed. Visit i3broadband.com/radio and start your spring off right. Next update at 5:40 from the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Now, back to the Redbird Rush Hour on KMOX.
Sponsored by Busey Bank. Building community with Busey Bank. Beyond the game.
All right, Redbird Rush Hour, Matt Pauley, Kevin Wheeler with you here, talking about early season information, right, and what matters and what doesn't, and most of it doesn't as far as being predictive. It matters that you're seeing it and you're seeing what's possible, good or bad, but it's not necessarily predictive. But Eno Saris of The Athletic has an interesting thing today, Matt. It's essentially several metrics, measurements of performance, not stats, not batting average, not things like that, that even in small samples can be helpful in terms of forecasting performance. So things like bat speed increases, exit velocity, like maximum exit velocity when you're pushing that top end to a higher level. Fastball velocity would be another one. And one of the it's a relatively, would you say relatively new category called Stuff Plus, right? Yeah. It's not brand new, and it's been refined over the last handful of years. But for those that are not nerds, it's basically just kind of how good are your pitches when you combine things like movement, velocity, command. It's a little bit of all of it. Stuff kind of is the general catchphrase for how good a pitch is and how good your repertoire is.
Right. It's
so Stuff Plus is like all of your pitches, and like when you combine all of their characteristics, how do they match up to others?
It's putting a number to stuff that we've been talking about forever.
Right. I mean, we've all talked about a guy has good stuff.
Yeah.
Well, this is just trying to quantify what that means. And stuff just means how do hitters react to it. Sometimes good stuff is just 100 miles an hour, but there are guys that throw 100 that don't get outs. So it means their stuff isn't good enough for one of the other reasons. It either doesn't have movement, or it doesn't have the right spin rate, or you don't command it well. You just throw it down the middle and guys can hit it. But one of the tops so far has been Matthew Liberatore in the stuff improvement. He's behind only Framber Valdez and Taj Bradley. Taj Bradley pitched well again today. 6 more shutout innings, I think, against the Royals, or maybe 1 run allowed. But he's another guy that's a young pitcher who got traded from Tampa to Minnesota. And velocity's ticked up. His stuff has ticked up. Well, Matthew Liberatore's third on the list of improved in that category from last year. And what's interesting about it is that reflects what we saw in the spring. So when Eno Saris wrote it up in the spring, he noted that Liberatore's stuff was better. And you were already seeing that in spring training. So to me, the interesting part is that it's a continuation of what we saw for 6 weeks down in spring training. So it's a little bit more than just his 2 starts.
And this also goes to why, like I was talking about, the fact that I do think Liberatore is going to take another step forward this year. He finally had his best offseason. He knew what he needed to do this offseason.
Yeah.
And the work that he put in the offseason, going into his first spring training that he walked in knowing he was going to be a starter, it all worked out really well. So that's the result of this.
Yeah.
That's the result of him putting in the work.
Now, to this point, it hasn't really resulted in swings and misses.
It hasn't.
Which is fine, by the way. I mean, there are multiple ways to do things. I would love to see it be more swings and misses, but it's not really that. But he has done a better job this year in a very small number of reducing some of the more hard contact. The first game was a lot of hard contact. Yesterday was way better.
Yesterday was great.
Yeah.
If you get that from, and not just the raw numbers of 1 run in 6 innings, but if you get that version of Matthew Liberatore every single time out, he's going to win a lot more games than he's going to lose.
Yeah, and the thing that is still going to have to be true is that he's going to still need to have a fastball that's more effective than it was last year.
Yes.
Can be a sinker, can be a cutter, can be the 4-seamer. Even this year, his 4-seamer's gotten hit hard. So with 2 successful starts, not giving up very many runs, pitching 11 innings in 2 starts, the fastball is 500 slug against it and 318 average against it. But when you look at the slider, 182 average against it. Look at the changeup, 182. He hasn't thrown many curveballs, but and that one's gotten hit hard, but he hasn't thrown as many of them as he has in the past, which is interesting. I thought that was one of his better pitches, but it's been a little bit less usage this year. But then he's also got the sinker, which so far he's only thrown a few times, but it's been successful. Hasn't thrown many cutters or splitters, but it's there. Like the splitter's there. We've only seen, I think, 4 of them according to StatCast.
And that's fine too, because that helps you keep something in your back pocket as you go along through the year.
Sure. So what's notable for him is we're actually seeing more 4-seam fastballs than we did last year. Not much, not a huge difference, but more sliders than last year, and more changeups. And the changeup's, to me, one of his best pitches.
Yeah, it's been really effective.
His changeup's phenomenal. It was great last year, and it's obviously been good so far this year. And what we have to understand is, like, you're not going to be able to use all of them the way that you will over time in 2 games, because everything is matchups. Everything is also, it's like, how does it feel that day?
Right. That's the there are so many guys who don't know until the second or third inning if they even have a pitch that's working. Guys will tell you they're in their bullpen before the game and they think something is or isn't working, and then all of a sudden they try to rip it off in a game and it's just not working for them. So figuring out as quickly as possible inside the game, knowing what you actually have that can be effective. We're going to continue on with the program after the 5:30 news, but it is that time of the week. We're doing something really cool as we're building community with Busey Bank beyond the game, as we've put a spotlight on people who are making the community, making the world better through sports. And this week we are talking with Greg Poole. Former Major League catcher Benji Molina works as the Cardinals Spanish language radio analyst, but he might work even harder with all the causes he's involved with. His passion to help living things stretches from people who are sick to helping stray pets. He spends a lot of time working with kids, whether it's visiting hospitals, talking at schools, and volunteering at baseball clinics.
If we want to change lives and make changes and inspire and all that, we have to start with the kiddos, man. We have to start at a young age and not wait until they're older, where it's a lot more difficult.
He also organizes a toy drive each Christmas for a local foster program.
Sweet Celebration Kids and foster, they wake up every Christmas morning. Thanks to the people, thanks to the fans, thanks to everybody who donated a toy. They have woken up with a toy in their hands, and that's special.
As he gives so much of his time, he hopes others will follow and do the same.
I just do it because it comes from my heart, and I think that if I do it with this platform that I have, I think other people will jump in and other people will go and do these things that I do.
Building community with Busey Bank beyond the game.
Looking to build your dream home? Lombardo Homes is known for quality, luxury, and thoughtful design in some of the area's most desirable communities. And for a limited time this April, we're offering something we rarely do. Exclusive incentives designed to help you get more from your new home. From a free finished recreation room to premium kitchen and cabinet upgrades to flexible perks like design credits or closing cost savings, there's an opportunity waiting for you. But these offers are available in select communities and only for a short time. Visit LombardoHomes.com or stop by a sales office today.
Siteman Cancer Center Spotlight, and we are discussing esophageal cancer with Dr. Raymond Jin.
Curative, that's a complex decision that involves what we call multidisciplinary care. So that involves a surgeon, a medical oncologist, radiation oncologist. So you need the expertise, and that's something that we have here at Siteman, especially geared for these esophageal cancer patients.
Siteman Cancer Center, national leaders in cancer. Visit siteman.washu.edu.
This is the story of the one. As a procurement manager for a hospital system, she keeps every facility in her network stocked and ready. That's why she counts on Grainger to be her single source for thousands of products, from disinfectants to lighting, air filters, and more. And with fast, dependable delivery, Grainger helps her keep every facility stocked, safe, and running smoothly. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
At 5:30, we've got 73 degrees downtown at the Arch. This update is sponsored by Michael's Flooring Outlet, the flooring experts, michaelsflooringoutlet.com. Following approval of a data center proposal in Festus, a citizens group is launching an effort to drum those city officials out of office.
It's a tactic that's been tried in other communities across the country, a recall petition. Under Missouri law, citizens can petition to vote officials out of office, citing misconduct, incompetence, or failure to perform their duties. Sherman Doyle is one of 11 homeowners targeted for buyout.
And from the get-go, it's been shady. You know, people knew, other people didn't know, we didn't know, and I mean, it's right in our backyard.
Under Missouri law, the group has 60 days to collect signatures from at least 25% of eligible Festus voters and then submit those to the county clerk. Festus Mayor Sam Richards has told KMOX the process has been transparent and has included public input. Megan Lynch, KMOX News.
Despite worries about the economy, consumers are expected to spend a record $24.9 billion on Easter this year.
This shopper is feeling lucky after finding the Easter goods she bought on sale.
I bought chocolate bunnies. I bought Peeps.
Peeps is really cashing in, teaming up with brands including Bath & Body Works with products tagged Peepin' It Real. At the National Retail Federation, Mark Matthews says, despite the tight economy for consumers,
spending on family and spending on loved ones is critical.
Allison Keys, CBS News.
But the National Retail Federation says prices for candy and food are still on the rise. Today is World Autism Day. KMOX spoke with author Kara Dalton about her book, Archie at the Arch, which follows a young boy with autism while he prepares and navigates a trip to the Gateway Arch. But Dalton says she wants both parents and children to be able to learn from and implement the tools Archie uses in the book.
They really navigate the world on routine and schedules, so knowing what comes next is very important for them.
Some tools Dalton suggests to parents are things like noise-canceling headphones, sensory toys, and planned breaks, all of which Archie uses in the book. Major League Baseball is bringing back a classic show.
Before streaming and the internet and even ESPN, there was This Week in Baseball, a weekly highlight show hosted by the legendary Mel Allen.
Time now to open the notebook for This Week in Baseball's Twib Notes. From
The half-hour show debuted in 1977, giving many baseball fans their only peek at highlights and bloopers from teams in other markets. The league is reviving the show on its X account with 5 to 10-minute episodes. Michael Wallace, CBS News.
And the city of St. Louis got roasted yesterday. The guy doing it was broadcasting to the biggest media market in the country. During the Mets-Cardinals afternoon game on SNY, play-by-play voice Gary Cohen noticed something missing from a live shot of downtown St. Louis people.
The only thing missing from that picture, as is often missing from every picture we show of downtown St. Louis, no people.
No people. Well, you know what? They want it to look picturesque. You can see a car driving by on the right. That's the only sign of life.
But there's never anybody walking around
no, there is
in downtown St. Louis.
It's not very often, you're right.
One St. Louisan retorts on X, quote, "That's because it was 1 o'clock on a rainy Wednesday and everyone's at work and school." From the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Desk, for tonight, windy clouds and some showers, non-severe storms, overnight low 62. For tomorrow, mix of sun and some showers too, with a high of 83. More showers Friday night, 55. And for Saturday, showers and a high of 60, 55 for Easter Sunday. Right now, 73 downtown at the Arch. I'm Michael Calhoun, KMOX News.
Let's try this again. We had the wrong building community with Busey Bank beyond the game just a moment ago. I promised Greg Poole. Here he is.
Greg Poole is the founder of Cans Can Ministry in Southern Illinois. The charity is largely funded from a sports card shop and impacts the community in so many ways.
We do everything from a weekly meal delivery to shut-ins in our community to Christmas presents, both for foster and for seniors. We do beds or clothing items for kids when they're removed from homes. Then we also, in the back of our shop, we call it the Resource Center. We have a spot where teachers and social workers and foster families can come pick up items that they need for free.
All those things happen as a result of the card shop.
100% of what we sell, we use to fund various programs that we run.
The wide-ranging services they provide is because they're always looking to find new ways to help people.
When we see a need, we can meet it.
And it all starts with a sports card shop in Benton, Illinois.
Sports and sports cards has allowed us to do that.
The Cardinals have shown support for the ministry, selling their baseball card packs in their authentic store inside Busch Stadium and at Ballpark Village. That's building community with Busey Bank beyond the game.
Okay, I have some really good news. While we do have the 0% a lot, we do have it on our regular products because you will be unbelievably shocked, especially if you call me and I'll give you the straight up scoop on how much money you can actually save by if you spent $20,000 versus $10,000 on a system. The difference could be as little as, I don't know, let's just say, not to exaggerate, 5 cents. So be careful out there and always remember your energy savings is based on your house. It is not based on the equipment. So common sense advice and help and guidance. Again, call me, Bart Inman, one easy number, Missouri and Illinois. The easiest, 314-293-2600. Again, one easy number, Missouri and Illinois, 314-293-2600. Or on the internet, that is bartinman.com. That is Bart with a B, Inman with an I.com. God bless.
If you're listening to KMOX, there is a very good chance that you are a fan of baseball. And right now, FanDuel is giving you a chance to call your shot with daily dingers. Joining the action is easy. You just make your free pick on who's hitting a home run in their game tonight. And if you're right, you'll get a profit boost to use on your next bet for a chance at extra winnings. And it's just another reason why FanDuel is the home of home runs. So go through the scorecard tonight, figure out who you like, and then place your bet at FanDuel.com/Missouri. That's FanDuel.com/Missouri to opt in for Daily Dingers and make your free pick on who's hitting a homer. FanDuel, an official partner of MLB. Must be 21 or over and present in Missouri. No purchase necessary. Opt-in required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable profit boost tokens. Restrictions apply, including any token expiration and max wager amount. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Glover here for my friends at Cantor Injury Law. Cantor is local, and we're here doing the work every day. We're right here in St. Louis, and we're ready to fight for you. CantorInjuryLaw.com or call 314-628-9999.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be solely based on advertisements.
Last year, I had back pain radiating down my right leg. The pain was so bad I was willing to cut my leg off to stop the pain. I could barely walk and had to stoop over when I did just to take pressure off the spine. I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. In my professional career, I've represented thousands of people who've had herniated discs and issues with their neck and back, but never fully appreciated what they were going through until it was my turn. It's like trying to describe colors to a blind person who's never had sight. All I can tell you is it hurt like hell, but worse. My daily walk was gone, and that bothered me a great deal. Then I thought of all of you and how much more devastating this type of injury could be for you. My life stopped. I now feel your pain. Just know at Morgan & Morgan, we got your back. I understand. Morgan means more.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements. Past results afford no guarantee of future results. Every case is different and must be judged on its own merits.
Want to make the most of your tax refund? File with TurboTax on Intuit Credit Karma. They help you get your biggest refund, and then we help you do more with it. With a personalized plan designed to help you hit your money goals. Start filing today in the Credit Karma app.
Hey, it's Matt and Leslie Holiday. When we got to St. Louis, it wasn't long before we started searching for a way to give back.
We visited Cardinal Glennon Children's Hospital, and we knew this is where we belonged.
Homers for Health has been going strong for 15 years and has made such an unbelievable impact on the hospital. I've won a World Series, but I consider the work we have done at Cardinal Glennon to be the greatest achievement.
Yes, your support truly makes a difference. Make your pledge for patients today at homersforhealth.org to benefit the devoted fund.
Ready to hit a home run with your backyard? Call Artistic Decks. We're celebrating 25 years of A-plus service with massive rollback pricing. Get a professional custom-built deck for less. Hit it out of the park with Artistic Decks. Call 314-280-0821 today.
If you owe the IRS, you have a legal issue, and you need the Lance Drury Law Firm. We'll protect your rights. Log on at lancedrurylaw.com.
Traffic from the MichaelsFlooringOutlet.com Traffic Center.
Well, we still got this crash on northbound 270 north of 64 between there and Ladue. Left lane still shut down. Northbound 270 is a solid jam back to Manchester. South 270 Gawkers are backed up through Olive. Westbound 64, they still have bumper-to-bumper traffic. They cleared to crash at Kings Highway, but it's jammed Kings Highway to Hampton, slow to McCausland. It's slow approaching Clayton-Warson all the way to 270, a little busy at Prospect. We got trouble on westbound 70. First of all, out of the city. Goodfellow out through Jennings Station slow, but out west, we've got a jam from almost Wentzville Parkway going out to almost David Hokel Parkway. You have an incident in the right lane only. The left lane's open there on westbound Highway 70 currently. Other than that, southbound 55 a little slow at Merrimack Bottom. Eastbound 70 east of the Mutual Veterans over to 64 is a little busy, and 64 a little bit of a slowdown briefly east of 157. I'm Roger Brand in the MichaelsFlooringOutlet.com Traffic Center.
Now, back to the Redbird Rush Hour on KMOX.
Sponsored by Busey Bank. Building community with Busey Bank. Beyond the game.
Hi, Redbird Rush Hour here on KMOX. Matt, Pauley, Kevin Wheeler hanging out with you here. I want to get to this question because I think it's an interesting one today, Matt. With the news that the Pirates are calling up Connor Griffin, comes the news that they've agreed to a contract extension with him. So Connor Griffin will be making his major league debut, and he already has a contract, or at least it's reported that he's going to have a contract of 9 years and $140 million. That comes just after Colt Emerson of the Mariners got 8 years and $95 million. And that's after another guy, Cooper Pratt with the Brewers, got 8 years and 57.
Yeah, and Pratt's a double-A guy. He's still a little ways away.
Yeah, he is. And that one that's why he makes so much less, though, because he's a little bit further away from being a big leaguer. And hasn't hit like the other guys. These other guys have put up numbers everywhere they've been, and he hasn't hit yet at the AA or higher level. But we had the question from Robert here on the stream that is a great tie-in to this topic today, and that is, how will Wynn react if the Cardinals sign Weatherholt to an extension first, so before Mason Wynn? First, let's get to that part. I don't know that Wynn would mind one way or the other.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know that reflects one way or the other on that situation, because if there are contract talks between Wynn and the team, Wynn knows what's happening there.
Yeah, and some guys, once you get to the big leagues and have a little bit of time, Wynn is a lot closer to arbitration.
He's 3 years away.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, no, he's like 1 year from arbitration.
Right.
Yeah.
So the idea of signing these guys up early is to buy out their club control years where they're making thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars as opposed to millions of dollars.
Right.
Give them millions of dollars in those first few years, but then give them less millions at the end of the contract.
Right.
That's the idea. It's easier to get that done with a guy who has 4 days of service time in the big leagues.
Right. Or none.
Right. Than it is
Than
for
a
a
guy
guy
that's
like Mason Wynn.
1 year from ARB and 3 years from free agency.
Right.
Right.
I still would try to get Wynn locked in. I think it would be awesome if they did it around the same time.
It'd be cool, but it's going to be a different structure because of what we're talking about.
Very different.
Wynn is going to cost more because of what he's done in the big leagues already.
You have already paid Mason Wynn very little money in the last couple years.
Right.
Which is what, so you don't have that going for you.
Right.
You don't have the opportunity to give him the substantial raise from hundreds of thousands of dollars as a way to lock him in.
So just as an example, right, with Colt Emerson's contract, rookie salary is just about $800,000. And his first contract year this year, he's going to make $1 million. And then it's going to be $2 million next year, when in a second year, he's probably would have been looking at $900 instead of $800.
Right.
So he's already now more than doubling his early money. Plus he got an $8 million signing bonus. So in the next 2 years, he's making $11 million instead of about $2 million, which is why he's doing it.
Good work if you can get it.
Right. And then it obviously starts jumping after that. When you get into the years that would be the ARB years, the contract jumps from $2 million to $9 million, and then from 9 to 12, and then from 12 to 14 to 15 to 18. You know, it moves like that.
But
so go ahead.
But the other side of that is, like, we just saw Freddie Peralta pitch yesterday.
Yeah.
Peralta signed one of those years ago. He's making $8 million this year.
Yeah.
Which is nothing.
No.
That might be the greatest value for a pitcher in Major League Baseball. Freddie Peralta.
Top of the rotation starter for $8 million. Yeah.
So he took that money early to take money less. So it works out on both sides.
Right. The interesting thing, so first and foremost, I would just say, I don't think that Wynn would be bothered one way or the other, because these guys all know the business and they know like what's happening and what's not happening. And when you're getting closer to free agency, it impacts your decision-making on that. The interesting question to me, and this is what Dave Glover asked me earlier today on DGS, and I think we can kick this around now, is where does Weatherholt fall on this if you're trying to get a deal done with him? Because I don't think he's going to get Connor Griffin money. Connor Griffin is 9 and 140. Now, keep in mind that all of these kinds of deals, they have contract escalators where salaries can jump. They have team options tagged on at the end. That'd be the really high salaries. So they could be more than the guarantee that's being reported, is the point.
Right.
But what's being reported on Griffin is 9 years and $140 million. Colt Emerson was 8 and 95. So if you make that 9, it's really more like 105, 115, right? If you add the extra year. So where does Weatherholt fall into that? Because he's not comparable to Pratt, because Pratt's in AA.
Right.
These are guys that are major league ready.
He's not Connor Griffin. He's
not physically Connor Griffin, right?
Well, the ceiling for Griffin is probably higher than the ceiling
just because of the
JJ
physical
Weatherholt.
characteristics.
Right.
Yeah.
So I would start at Griffin and I would come back a little bit. As somebody who wants to see him be a really long time Cardinal, I love that 8-9 year type idea. I would go as long as you possibly can go on it. But what you said, Griffin's at 9 years, 150? Is that what it is?
Yeah,
okay.
140.
140?
Not counting any escalators or options.
Yeah, I mean, so you're a little bit lower than that. But we can throw out numbers. It's probably 9 year 120, but he's less than that.
To me, it's somewhere between Emerson and Griffin. I don't think he's less than Emerson.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, like they're similarly ranked, right? So if you look at MLB.com, Connor Griffin's number 1, JJ Weatherholt's number 5, and Colt Emerson's number 7. So there isn't a huge gap in how they're viewed. But Emerson is, I mean, but one thing is that's true. It's interesting is that JJ is older than both of those guys.
Yeah.
He's 3 years older than Emerson, and he's 5 years older, actually 4 years older than Connor Griffin. Connor Griffin's only 19.
Which might actually cause him to have a little bit of pause on a 9-year deal because you want to make sure you hit your true free agency.
At age 30-ish.
Right.
Yeah. But it could also make the team not want to go that far.
True.
Because you don't necessarily want to buy into the aging years, which is what you get into kind of in the 30s.
Yeah, but how old is JJ? What is he,
23.
23. So if you're talking a 9-year deal, you're taking him to 32, you're still in prime years. So I'm not worried about that. But if I'm JJ Weatherholt,
I might want 7.
I'm worried about not touching free agency until 32, 33.
Right. That's what I'm saying. I might want 7 where I can hit free agency at age 30.
Yeah.
Because that's a pretty good number for a position player. A little dicier for a pitcher, but still a pretty good number, pretty good age for a position player.
Because that might be your only chance to get like a legit big time payday.
And here's another interesting angle to this that ties into this. It sounds like this is like going to keep happening. That teams are really trying to do this now in advance of collective bargaining talks.
Well, there's worry if there's a salary cap.
That's right. Or, right.
This could be grandfathered in where it wouldn't go against the salary cap.
But they could also, like as part of the negotiations, grant free agency earlier.
Sure.
And that would mean that these players would be less likely to want to do this 1 year from now, or at least for the length of time anyway, right? So there are these, the team, and for the player, the benefit is getting it locked in.
Yeah, money today is worth more than money tomorrow.
Right. And Corbin Carroll talked about this just the other day where he was like, he signed like this. He signed one of those really early extensions. He said, it's the best thing I've ever done because then I can just go play. The money's taken care of. I don't have to think about it. Don't have to worry about it. I can just play baseball. And he said it took a lot of weight off his shoulders. So,
yeah, I hope the Cardinals engage on it. I don't know what it looks like. We're back into a period now where they can do these things. They were trying during Mo's final 2 years. I think he was trying to leave the deck as clean as possible for Heim.
Yeah.
But now it's Heim's show.
Yeah.
Go do it.
I would love to see it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be a great idea.
That would be really, really, really good to see. You are listening to the Redbird Rush Hour right here on KMOX. I want to tell you a little bit about my friends over at STL Weight Loss Injections. I am a client, and it's been a really good experience for me so far. Look, this isn't something where you're going to get a few injections and all of a sudden you're going to be 40 pounds less, but it is going to be something where every week, every month, you're going to see a few pounds come off, and it's just going to be a gradual thing, which is actually the safe way to do it. If you lose a ton of weight in a really short amount of time, that's not always the safest thing, especially if it continues to happen. So I've been happy with what's going on right now with STL Weight Loss Injections. It's been just the extra boost that I have needed personally, because I am somebody that works out every day. I am somebody that eats relatively healthy. There are some other things in my life that aren't the healthiest thing in the world. I know I need more sleep. I know I need some other things, but we all have that. And that's the point. Maybe you are somebody that you get lots of sleep, but you don't eat super healthy, and you need to get something that can help you out a little bit. It's a great way to find some health. It's a great way to get to where you want to go and reach your weight loss goals. There's many wonderful things about STL Weight Loss Injections, but the first thing, $199 for the first month. So you get in at a very reasonable rate, which is great. And the people there are awesome. They're not going to try to put you on something that you shouldn't be on, that you don't need to be on. You go in, you talk to them. They're great. So go to the website, stlweightlossinjections.com, stlweightlossinjections.com. The phone number is on the website if you want to give them a call. You could just schedule an appointment on the website as well, and everything's going to be taken care of from there. It's stlweightlossinjections.com.
Traffic from the MichaelsFlooringOutlet.com Traffic Center.
Well, we still have our trouble spot on westbound Highway 70 right near David Hochul Parkway. I guess it's a stall. They have the right lane blocked for it, and traffic is jammed back to Wentzville Parkway on westbound 70, so only the left lane's getting through out there in St. Charles County. North 270, looks like they cleared that crash north of 64 onto both shoulders. Traffic still a solid jam north 270 at Manchester. South 270 still slow coming down from Olive, taking a look at it. Westbound 64, Science Center headed out through McCausland, Clayton Worcester, and Lindbergh right around Ballas. Still a couple of slowdowns after that. You're good to go. Southbound 270, south of 64 is clear. Southbound 55 looks great. Eastbound 70 still a backup. Packers Avenue to 64, and 64 is still slow east of 157, but it opens up before you even get midway to 159. Next update at 5:59 from the MichaelsFlooringOutlet.com Traffic Center.
Now, back to the Redbird Rush Hour on KMOX.
Sponsored by Busey Bank. Building community with Busey Bank. Beyond the game.
All right, Matt Pauley, Kevin Wheeler with you here. Matt's got Sports Open Line coming up after the news. Want to give us a little tease?
Polo Cincio is going to be on today
Nice.
at 6:20. Our guy Polo.
Ready for some energy.
Yes, ready for energy. Polo.
I love Polo.
I might ask one question, and he'll just talk for 12 minutes, and the segment will be over.
Polo's the best, man.
Yes.
He and Benji both. They're the best.
They are. So we'll talk with Polo. We'll continue to talk all things Cardinals baseball. We got a few other things going on, too.
Good deal.
Yeah,
Good deal.
6
So
to
a
8.
lot more baseball.
And tomorrow you're going to be hosting
How about
Sports
that?
Open Line.
Flashback.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got some family stuff going on.
Yep.
Got to take the day tomorrow.
That's all right. I don't mind. I love talking sports. So we'll do this with Bernie tomorrow. He and I on this. And then in Sports Open Line, it'll be old school, man.
I'll be listening and watching, just not attending.
You should comment on the stream.
I may. Maybe I will.
Comment as like Boots Magoo.
Yeah.
If I see Boots Magoo, I know it's you.
Okay. Fair enough.
All right. One last thing. Because, I mean, this is common. I know baseball talk, right? Common baseball conversation is lineup talk. And I think we're probably a little too focused on lineup talk on social media in Cardinals Nation.
I would agree.
I don't think this year, and I don't think this early in the year, it's that big of a deal. I do think there are times when it is more of a conversation. Was it last year or the year before? I think it was the year before. No, it might have been last spring. It was last spring. We had that big talk about, look, top of the order's on base. They keep forcing this with Mason Wynn. It's not the right guy. Donovan's the right guy. Newt's the right guy. Like on base percentage at the top. They have gotten to that. And maybe it was just like seeing it through, but it's not to say that the lineup is never a conversation. Sure it is. I just don't know that the current lineup is that big of a conversation given what you're doing with a rebuild and given your current roster's limitations. Like, as long as your top three are some order of Weatherholt, Herrera, and Burleson, and I honestly don't even care what order, I'm fine.
Yeah.
If for now, there can be things that change that, but for now, because I thought what Ollie said on Gas House Gang this week was really smart. We talked about it earlier in the week, and it's not only smart, but it's obvious. You don't want Gorman hitting cleanup with two lefties in the top three because now the other team has a clean, obvious lane for their left-handed relievers late in the game. You don't want to provide that easily. So you split it up a little bit. So if we're talking about, I know the biggest thing is Mason Wynn in the 4 spot. They don't really have a better choice. People would feel better about it if it was Wynn second and Herrera 4th because it looks like lineups used to look. But the better guy should actually be hitting first, should be hitting in the 2-hole.
Yeah, and the only time it becomes an issue is when you've got somebody in a top few spot that's not performing,
right?
And somebody who's batting 6th, 7th, and 8th who's killing it.
Yeah.
Because then you want the guy who's performing at a higher level to move up just to get the more opportunities. That's all it has to do.
More at bats.
Yeah. You get the guy who hits in the 1 spot the most is the guy who's going to have the most at bats over the course of the year.
Basically,
and the guy who's the 2-hitter is going to have the second most.
Most. Yeah. And I think there's nothing even weird about what they're doing except for the fact that Wynn's not a power hitter. But there are all kinds of teams that will use somebody that's a non. Have you ever seen Detroit's lineups? They can be really weird. I mean, like in the playoffs, they had Wenzel Perez hitting 3rd. So why did they have some random kind of 4th outfielder guy hitting 3rd? Well, because he's a switch hitter. And based on their other hitters, that made the matchups tougher for the other team's bullpen late in games. Because you're not just managing against the starting pitcher. And this is what I wanted to get to. And I only left us 2 minutes to do it, and I feel like an idiot. But this is what I wanted to get to. The reason the things that we're talking about matter more is because pitchers are used differently.
Yeah.
You used to make your lineup based entirely on who the starting pitcher is that you're facing. But with starting pitchers pitching less and less, it's as much now about countering the strengths of their bullpen as it is countering who the starting pitcher is.
Yeah.
It's that simple.
Yes. I don't have anything to add here.
Yeah.
I'm agreeing with you.
Yeah, I know.
What you're saying is spot on. And that's how you win baseball games. And that's how you have success over 162 games.
Right. I mean, again, and I understand this is a newer thing. It's not brand new, but it's a newer thing to fans that are used to things being a different way. So, yeah, if the starter you're facing is Sandy Alcantara, well, then you're probably building the lineup for Sandy Alcantara because he basically goes 7 innings every game, right? Yeah. But when you're facing almost anyone else, it's usually 5 and dive.
That's
and sometimes less than that.
Yeah, we put that down a lot. Like that's who most pitchers are in baseball.
I know. I don't like it.
I mean, you don't have to like it, but it's not like it's the end of the world.
No, I mean, look, the numbers are the numbers, man. We know it's just like the NBA and shooting threes. We know that shooting threes is a more efficient way to score points, so they shoot more threes now than they ever have. And we know that you get better performance by going to your bullpen earlier. And while it's not as exciting and it can be less entertaining, it's about winning. And that's why they do it, because it increases your odds.
Yeah.
And I feel like we all just need we need an update. Like an iPhone needs an update. We need a mind update for baseball fans to get to 2026 strategy. Because we're talking lineups like it's 2015.
And it's inarguable. Like there's data that backs up everything that's being said.
For decades.
Yes.
Not just a few years, decades worth of information. We've just learned how to sort it better. All right, bud, have a good show. We'll be listening. Sports Open Line coming up after the news with Matt Pauley on KMOX.
I'm Piera Palazzolo, VP of Digital Marketing for the American Management Association, a company focused on the
It's what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-507-9701. That's 800-507-9701. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
At 6:04, we've got a partly cloudy sky. It's 74 degrees. The feels like is 68 downtown at the Arch. In communities across the country, residents have fought back against data center developments by pushing local officials out of office. A group of Festus, Missouri residents is trying the same tactic.
Despite vocal opposition, the Festus City Council approved a framework agreement with the developer for a $6 billion data center. Residents of the area, like Ryan Sciarra, say voters will have the last word.
I think essentially kind of cleaning house is the first step.
4 Festus Council members are up for re-election Tuesday. Sherman Doyle is one of 11 homeowners in his neighborhood targeted for a buyout. He's going door to door, gathering signatures to try and trigger a recall vote for the rest.
The main targets would be the council members who are not currently up for re-election on the 7th.
Doyle says the mayor is also named in that petition. The group has 60 days to collect enough signatures and present them to the county clerk. While the mayor has told KMOX the process has been transparent, residents claim there have been backroom deals and the final agreement isn't what they were promised. Megan Lynch, KMOX News.
With severe weather in the forecast, is the city better prepared for its next natural disaster?
Mayor Kara Spencer is touting progress her administration has made over the last nearly 11 months since an EF3 tornado ripped through St. Louis City at modernizing the city's response to such disasters. She says a few weeks ago, a tornado warning coming across St. Louis City provided them with a test.
The system worked as planned. We had an advanced briefing. We had a unified command. We had direct coordination with the National Weather Service, and the sirens activated automatically. None of that existed 11 months ago.
Mayor Spencer adds she would like to see greater collaboration between the emergency management teams of St. Louis City, county, and other regional municipalities. In St. Louis City, Sean Malone, KMOX News.
St. Louis police say they carried out one of their largest search warrants in years at a condemned Southside apartment complex, the 3600 block of Illinois in the Marine Villa neighborhood. 63 people given tickets for occupying a condemned building, 13 arrested on a variety of charges, including possession of an illegal weapon to drug trafficking. The department says there have been 158 calls for service in that block in the past year. Legislation that would put management of the Dome and America's Center under the same umbrella is on the Missouri governor's desk. The bill allows for current hotel taxes to be utilized for future investments in the entire downtown complex. The original legislation, sponsored by Representative Brad Christ, passed both houses by wide margins, including 29-1 in the state Senate. New York Mets announcer Gary Cohen didn't just take a shot at St. Louis yesterday. He nuked it. Broadcasting on SNY to millions of viewers in the nation's #1 media market, Cohen compared downtown St. Louis to a city wiped clean of humans.
There's never anybody walking around
there
in
is
downtown
not.
St.
It's
Louis.
not very often, you're right.
It's like, remember the old neutron bomb that wouldn't knock down buildings but just would eliminate all the people? It's like one of those hit St. Louis.
I guess it's just a photo op. People then run and hide, so they're not in the photo.
Cohen's been down this road before. Cincinnati still hasn't forgiven him for trashing Skyline Chili back in 2021. Let's get you to Roger Brand now in the traffic center. Roger?
Well, Michael, they're close to wrapping up their problem on westbound 70 before David Hokel Park, where they have a flatbed on the scene to deal with the stall. It looks like it's about loaded up, but the right lane is still blocked as of right now. So westbound 70 is bumper to bumper pretty much from 61 all the way out to Wentzville or to David Hokel Parkway. Westbound 70 again, 61 to David Hokel Parkway, more stop than it is go, but it should be cleared in the next couple of minutes. Northbound 270, north of Manchester up to Ladue, still slow in that construction zone. Otherwise, on the Missouri side, the rest of the highways are looking good. We just have a little slowdown eastbound 64, 157 midway up the hill to 159 in that construction zone. I'm Roger Brand at the Michaels Flooring Outlet.com Traffic Center.
Let's keep our unsettled weather pattern going. It's windy from start to finish tonight. Be some showers and thunderstorms around. The best chance for some strong, possibly severe weather is well to our north. 62 for the overnight low. On Friday, Good Friday, partly sunny and windy, but there will be some showers and some thunderstorms around. It's a warm and somewhat humid day, 83. Friday night, some showers and thunderstorms, still windy, 55. Rest of the holiday weekend, Saturday, it's cloudy, it's windy, there'll be showers. It's a little cooler. Northwest wind returning as a cold front comes by, 60 for the high. Saturday night, partly cloudy and chilly, 40. Sunday, gorgeous day, lots of sunshine, though it is cooler, 55 on Sunday. The ground's going to be wet, so keep that in mind. Sunrise on Easter, 6:40. From the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Dave Murray on 104.1 FM, KMOX.
Standing at 74 degrees, the feels like is 68 downtown at the Arch. I'm Michael Calhoun, KMOX News.
Come on, let's get going now.
From KMOX Sports.
We're primed and ready. All day, baby. Man, let's go.
This is the Gray Bar Sports Open Line. Gray Bar, your distributor for electrical and datacom needs on 104.1 FM, KMOX.
Here we go. Welcome in. It's the Gray Bar Sports Open Line here on KMOX. My name is Matt Pauley. A happy Thursday to you. We appreciate you making us a part of your day. We've got, we got a lot coming up on the program. We'll talk a fair amount of baseball, but we always get into a few other things here on Sports Open Line. In fact, I'll be honest with you. Our second hour today, it's a little bit more diverse in terms of what we are talking about than what we normally get into. Here's the guest list for today. We got a lot going on. Our good friend Polo Asensio, the Cardinals Spanish language play-by-play broadcaster, he is going to join us at about 6:20. At 6:35, we're going to talk City SC soccer. We're going to be joined by Gino Savarese. He's going to be broadcasting City's match coming up this weekend, so we'll do a little soccer. And the next hour, this is when we expand our horizons a little bit on a Thursday night. Supercross, like motorcycle racing, that's going to be at the Dome this weekend. And Carter Stevenson, who is a Rolla native, he is part of Supercross. He is scheduled to join us at 7:20 tonight, so we're going to learn a little something about Supercross and what goes into to that. And then we always do this every week. It's a really cool thing. I hope you listen to it because I'm getting a kick out of it. I love being able to help share really cool stories that have a sports angle to them. And we're going to be joined by Greg Poole at about 7:35. He runs a sports card, like a baseball card shop in Southern Illinois that is responsible for financially pushing a lot of charitable initiatives and things that they do. It's a really cool story. He was actually featured. Our good friend Ryan Fagan wrote about him maybe a couple years ago in the Sporting News. He's got a partnership with the Cardinals. Like, it's just a really cool thing that he does. And as each week we do building community with Busey Bank Beyond the Game. This week, Greg Poole is going to be featured on that. So that's what's we've got on the program today in terms of guest and feature things that we're going to be doing. Obviously, a lot of Cardinals talk. And if you've been with us for the last hour during Redbird Rush Hour, had a lot of good things to get into. Didn't even mention the Mason Wynn situation. Mason decided to scare all of us yesterday when we learned that he was in a single vehicle accident on Highway 40, not that far from the ballpark. He actually posted a picture today on his social media that showed the accident. So what we were told was that it was a single car accident. He did get taken to a hospital, but no major injuries. We'll get more information tomorrow. I would not be shocked to see him maybe get a day off. He was going to get a day off at some point this upcoming homestand anyways. Maybe it makes sense. I don't know if he's sore or anything. He'll talk with the media covering the game tomorrow in Detroit. I know both Derek Gould from the Post-Dispatch and Jeff Jones from the Belleville News-Democrat. That's the St. Louis contingent of Cardinals traveling media as it sits right now. Those guys are in Detroit, so they'll get the story from him. But yeah, just a scary situation. He put out on his Instagram. He posted a picture of the car, pretty banged up on the front. It's banged up big time. And he said, for everyone wondering, I'm feeling great. Car's a little banged up. Mason, car's a little bit more than banged up, but whatever. He goes on. Car's a little banged up, but nothing that can't be replaced. Big thanks to our security team and first responders for taking care of me. See you on the field soon. So that's good news that he is okay. I'm trying to zoom in. I think the airbag was deployed. As I zoom in on the photo, I think I see a potential hairbag just sitting there, but a single car accident from what we understand. Nobody else was involved. He is okay. So that's the most important thing. He seems to be okay. Nobody else was hurt, and it was a little bit rainy. Streets were a little bit wet yesterday, and stuff seems to be okay. But also from a baseball standpoint, Cardinals look good through the first 6 games. And I say this, I say this over and over and over. I have a hard time at this time of the year talking about baseball because I don't know what's real and what's not real. We spent some time with that during Redbird Rush Hour because of the story in The Athletic where they went over some of the like advanced numbers and the guys who are improved from last year to this year as maybe a way to identify what's real, what's not real. And even that, there's some flaws to it. You'll see it's like the Nolan Arenado thing, right? Arenado for the last 2-3 years, every single year has said he's going to work on his bat speed in the offseason, that he's going to do workouts as a way to lift his bat speed. So he gets the spring and it looks good. And he goes through his first for a few weeks of the season and it looks good. And then eventually it kind of goes back to where it was before. We've seen that in recent years. And that's not me being critical of Arenado at all. It's me stating the fact that even the advanced numbers, which generally speaking are more sustainable when you see a big change from one year to the next, even the advanced numbers can fall back a little bit because 162 games is a grind. Playing every day is a grind. Fighting through things that have you banged up. It's all a grind. So sometimes there are results to that do start to come back a bit. But, we saw some good numbers on we talked about Matthew Liberatore. Nolan Gorman had some good numbers in there. George Soriano had some good numbers in there. I have to look to see the other Cardinals that are mentioned, but there's some good signs, some good things that are happening. What did Polo Asensio think about the opening week of Cardinals baseball? 2 out of 3 against the Rays, 2 out of 3 against the Mets, winning the games in very different ways, winning the series in very different ways. We will get the thoughts of Cardinals Spanish language broadcaster Polo Asensio. He joins us next on a Gray Bar Sports Open Line here on KMOX.
It's already April. Maybe you're planning to have some get-togethers, a graduation party, Father's Day cookout, who knows? But is your outdoor space ready? Maybe you never got around to all those improvements you had been planning. Call Chesterfield Fence and Deck. Chesterfield Fence and Deck is the sign you have the very best. And whether you're looking for a new deck or a patio, a pergola, a sunroom, a screen room, or all of the above and then some, Chesterfield Fence and Deck can make the magic happen because they have 58 years of experience and they have thousands of satisfied customers, and they offer real value because when you spend the money, you get a project that is going to last for years to come. They only ever use the highest quality materials. They have their own installation crews. That's important because those crews have years of experience. If you mention me, Debbie Monterey, they'll offer you 20% off your next outdoor project. Give them a call, stop by, or they'll come to you. It's Chesterfield Fence and Deck, the sign you have the very best, chesterfieldfence.com.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance tech at a university, he knows ordering from multiple suppliers takes time away from keeping their arena up and running. That's why he counts on Grainger to get everything he needs, from lighting and HVAC parts to plumbing supplies, all in one place. And with fast, dependable delivery, he's stocked and ready for the next tip-off. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
At Audion Hearing, our mission is simple: to make better hearing affordable for everyone. We're proud to offer high-quality, rechargeable hearing aids starting at just $98. Clear, comfortable, and ready to use right out of the box. And here's a study worth hearing. Research shows that wearing hearing aids can reduce your risk of dementia by up to 61%. Join over 1 million happy customers and hear the difference today by going to audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
Do you ever feel like people are mumbling more than they used to? Or maybe conversations at restaurants and family gatherings have gotten harder to follow. If this sounds familiar, it might be time to learn more about your hearing. That's why we're inviting you to a special lunch and learn at the Audiology Center. This event is on April 29th for various time slots. It's a relaxed and friendly gathering where our certified audiologists will talk about hearing and hearing loss, answer your questions, and share how today's hearing aids can help you connect with the moments that matter most. Hearing loss often happens slowly, and many people don't realize how much they're missing. It's important to know how untreated hearing loss can negatively affect you in the long term. It's a no-pressure event, just good conversation and good information, and lunch is on us. Seats are limited, so please call 636-441-7470 to reserve your spot for our free lunch and learn at the Audiology Center on April 29th. Take the first step towards hearing more clearly.
All hail Spamalot, the Tony Award-winning best musical comedy that will have you laughing your coconuts off. The Washington Post declares Monty Python's Spamalot is the funniest musical on Broadway. Entertainment Weekly calls it a hilarious fun fest. The Washington Post says it's unfair to laugh this much. Get your tickets now for the musical comedy event of the year, Spamalot, playing the fabulous Fox May 5th through 17th. Tickets at fabulousfox.com.
If you owe the IRS, you have a legal issue, and you need the Lance Drury Law Firm. We'll protect your rights. Log on at lancedrurylaw.com.
Don't miss Mosby Building Arts Home Improvement Shows Saturdays from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. on KMOX. One of the last call-in shows where you can get live answers to your remodeling, design, and construction questions. Tune in Saturdays at 11 a.m.
Experience the power and passion of Mahler's Fifth Symphony with the St. Louis Symphony Orchestra. Music director Stefan Deneuve leads this monumental work, paired with the St. Louis Symphony Orchestra's first performances of Carlos Simon's Double Concerto Suite, featuring Grammy-winning violinist Hilary Hahn and cellist Seth Parker Woods. April 10th, 11th, and 12th at Powell Hall at the Jack C. Taylor Music Center. Tickets at slso.org.
100 years, one legendary voice. We live KMOX's century of service. Classic audio, photos, videos, and more at KMOX100.com.
We are so blessed to have so many great broadcasters involved with the St. Louis Cardinals, obviously on the English radio side with the voice of the Cardinals, John Rooney, Ricky and Claibs on the TV side, with Chip and Brad and Mark and everybody else that's involved in that. And then on the Spanish radio side, we've got Polo Asensio and Benji Molina. They do such a great job. They bring energy to every single broadcast. He is the embodiment of all things energy. He's Polo Asensio, and he joins us right now to talk a little Cardinals baseball. Hey, Polo, how's your off day going?
It's going fantastic. I had to do some shopping. You know, I don't live in St. Louis during the off season, so I just landed a week ago, basically yesterday, or a couple of days before a home opener. So I had to do some shopping. Go get some water and some regular stuff for me to have in my apartment here in St. Louis, and enjoying the city, enjoying the weather. I mean, I know that we were supposed to be raining since three days ago, and luckily just a little rain here and there. But having fun, man. Having fun, enjoying St. Louis. And thank you for those words. I love what I do, and you know this. You see me around the park, in spring training at Busch Stadium or every other event that we have a chance to bump into each other. It's fun. It's fun, Matt. Matt, it's really fun for me to do this. And I hope the fans know that what we're doing, what I'm doing here, it's more than just a job. It's more than just baseball. We're having fun. We're having fun. And I think that's the word for this season with the St. Louis Cardinals. Excitement, fun, sparks. I don't know, whatever you want to call it. So far, so good, man. So far, so good.
Yeah, what were your big takeaways from taking 2 of 3 from the Rays, 2 of 3 from the Mets? They win those games and they win those series in very different kind of ways, but it certainly seems like this is a team that is full of energy here through the first week of the year.
There's a word that we overuse it at times. I don't like to use some words that most people use to describe things, we're this, or we're that. Oh, this is a bunch of grinding dogs or whatever. But that's what this team is from day one. And I talked to Oliver Marmol, our manager, after opening day. And on that 6th inning, when the Tampa Bay Rays went up by 6, I don't think it's wrong to say that 90% of us said, dang it, okay, there's the game. It's not, nothing else is going to happen. Let's go home or whatever, right? But what I said during the broadcast after going down 6 in the 6th, I said to Benji and to whoever was listening to us, okay, I get it. The 6th inning, we're down by 6. We might not come back, but I want to see some fight. I want to see something from these kids from day one. And boy, did they show me and everybody else something. I mean, they came back, they tied the game, they went ahead, and that was the constant all homestand. Like even when they were down until the last pitch, they had a chance to at least tie it, and that's what I take home with me from the first homestand. A team that is not going to give up, a team that is going to go out there and battle. Again, those are words and things that usually we hear when we talk about sports and baseball in particular. But that's what this team is. That's what I see, and that's what I like. That the guys, even though the guys that didn't do great in the homestand or one series or one game, the next day they came back and they did their best they could, and that's what I take home. I take home a team that is not going to give up. Hopefully, we have a good first road trip, and we come back and face the Boston Red Sox with, if not a winning record, at least 500, and continue that trend, that continue that pace of having good baseball and having good energy and not giving up.
Yeah, it's fun to watch these young guys. And part of this offseason, Polo, with so many of the veteran players being traded away, part of that creates a scenario where the young guys were given even more ownership in who this team is, and they were given their opportunity to step to the front. And again, just 6 games in, plus what we saw during spring training, but being in the clubhouse, being around them, watching how they play, watching how they conduct themselves, it feels like a lot of those young guys are up for that challenge.
People see and hear about the last couple of seasons, 23, 24, 25. Yes, we know it was a disaster throughout, but let's not forget that those guys that are not here, the Sonny Grays, the Wilson Contreras, the Nolan Arenado, the Paul Goldschmidt, even the Kyle Gibsons of the world, those guys, they meant something to the new guys, to the guys that are here, to the Newbars, to the Mason Winds, to the Walker, to the Gorman, to Burleson, to Pedro Pajes, to even Joao Pozo, who came here last season. So even though those seasons, winning and losing was the main thing, at the end, I believe those guys that I just mentioned, and then some, they learned a lot from watching and from those guys. Good or bad, you learn from all of those. And I hope we see what they have learned from those guys that are not here anymore this season and beyond. I hope that makes sense. It's like, yeah, the winning record was not there, but the lessons were there. And I see a lot of guys learning, Mason Wynn, Burleson, Pedro, Ivan Herrera, those guys learned something from those guys that are not here anymore. And I think that we are going to see, even though those guys are not here, and it might sound a little weird, Matt, but those guys in spirit are helping these kids achieve something. And I hope that this season is a lot of fun. I know it's going to be a lot of fun. So let's not forget about that. Yeah, they're not here anymore. They're gone. But in a sense, they're still here because they were part of those guys that we're looking at upbringing throughout the organization.
Yeah, in the post-game interview that Mike Claiborne had with Mason Wynn yesterday, he asked him, how much was playing next to Nolan Arenado? How much does that impact you today? Because we see some of these things that he does. And Wynn was very open about the fact that Arenado had a huge impact on him. So I think you're right in saying that there's so many of these guys, just having Paul Goldschmidt as a teammate for some of these guys and knowing the way that he went about his business. And we can go back beyond that. Alec Burleson tells a story about watching Albert Pujols in the cage and some things that he did then that Burley has tried to do. It's all these guys who come through, they do impact other players in some way, shape, or form.
Exactly. And I didn't want to go that far, but yeah, even with Albert, even Yadi as a player, now Yadi as a coach, those lessons stay, right? And that is the Cardinal way. Maybe this right now on the field is a different type of Cardinal way, but it comes from those guys. Even Adam Wainwright, who was here just a couple of seasons ago. All of those guys, they leave something behind. And now let's hope that the guys that are now here take that. I remember you mentioned Nolan and Mason. When Mason just came up, I remember Nolan, being Nolan with all the gold gloves and all the ground that he could cover, he wouldn't let Mason get to some balls, right? Some ground balls, because Nolan was Nolan. Like, no, this is hey kid, this is my ground. This is my infield. Get away from me. But then once Nolan realized that Mason Wynn was that guy, I remember clearly a couple of times where Nolan did a little step and he said, you know what? I'm going to let that ball go by and see what this kid does. And, Mason Wynn did what he did, and that's why he won the gold glove. So he was showing Nolan and others that he could do things. So at that moment, I remember clearly, like I said, a couple of plays when I could see Nolan like gravitate or try to get to the ball and then stop halfway there because he knew somebody behind him was going to cover his back. And that says a lot about, like I said, those guys that are not here anymore. And Mason is a great example. Somebody who learned from a lot of people. Last season, I don't know if you ever noticed, Wilson Contreras was always on Mason Wynn's case. Like he was always with him or telling him something or saying something to him. And more than once, I would tell Wilson, why? Why are you doing this with that kid? He's not even a catcher, right? And now you're a first baseman. Like, because I want him to know that he can be that leader. He can be a guy that can lead, if not just the infield, the whole team to the promised land or to a different kind of level. And we're looking at that. We're seeing that. Yes, he started out a little slow, but then again, yesterday he had the walk-off, and then, we all heard about the little fender bender. Luckily, he's okay. But other than that, I am very, very happy with what I've seen.
Last thing for you, just JJ Weatherholt has had a really good first week of his major league career. What did you think of what we saw from the young second baseman?
Dude, he is who we expected to be, isn't it? He is that guy. And I am a little not surprised, but his defense has impressed me more than what I thought. The hitting has always been there. The hitting, that home run opening day, a fastball outside, he just went for it and all the way through the center field all the way out. But the way he has covered his position, that I am very impressed by. And looking at him, looking at Mason on the other side, and looking at what Burleson also has done on first base, I think the infield of the Cardinals is in really good hands. And JJ, we mentioned this. I mentioned this during the broadcast. It doesn't seem like the moment or the pace of MLB is fast for him. Like he has been ready for this moment, perhaps in Little League. I'm not exaggerating. There's guys like that. There's guys that from the minute they get on a baseball field, they know what they want, they know who they are, and they know what they can be. I just hope that he stays healthy and he continues what he has shown the first 6 games of the season. And I have him on my fantasy team, so I want him to succeed, of course.
Polo Asensio, he is the Spanish language play-by-play radio broadcaster for the Cardinals. Polo, enjoy the week. We'll see you at the ballpark coming up next week.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much. Anytime. Have a good evening.
All right, very good. Polo Asensio joining us on the program, and we appreciate him spending a few moments with us. We are going to take a break, and when we return, we're going to shift gears. We'll talk a little City SC soccer as Gino Savarese is set to join us. He's going to be on the broadcast this weekend on Apple TV. We'll talk with him about where City's at, coming off their first win of the year, coming off an off weekend. What does that do leading into the next contest? We'll talk all about that coming up in just a moment right here on KMOX. Spring cleaning rule number 1, out with the old, in with the new. And frankly, your family's old internet connection is a dinosaur. Upgrade to the 1 gig modern family standard from i3 Broadband. It's 100% true in-home fiber with equal upload and download speeds, so your teenager's gaming won't crash your video call. Even better, we're currently offering our longest price guarantees ever on our gig speed internet services. Say goodbye to exploding promo prices and hello to budget certainty. Visit i3broadband.com/radio and start your spring off right.
Looking to build your dream home? Lombardo Homes is known for quality, luxury, and thoughtful design in some of the area's most desirable communities. And for a limited time this April, we're offering something we rarely do. Exclusive incentives designed to help you get more from your new home. From a free finished recreation room to premium kitchen and cabinet upgrades to flexible perks like design credits or closing cost savings, there's an opportunity waiting for you. But these offers are available in select communities and only for a short time. Visit LombardoHomes.com or stop by a sales office today. today.
For 100 years, KMOX has been a part of St. Louis. Now, those moments live on, preserved, remastered, and ready to be heard again. Discover KMOX from the Archives, a podcast featuring classic audio from a century of service.
Sponsored by Overhead Door Company of St. Louis, the genuine, the original.
The KMOX from the Archives podcast, available now at KMOX100.com or wherever you get your podcasts.
This is the story of the one. As a procurement manager for a hospital system, she keeps every facility in her network stocked and ready. That's why she counts on Grainger to be her single source for thousands of products, from disinfectants to lighting, air filters, and more. And with fast, dependable delivery, Grainger helps her keep every facility stocked, safe, and running smoothly. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
I'm Piera Palazzolo, VP of Digital Marketing for the American Management Association, a company focused on the management training skills needed to enhance the careers of business professionals. We did our research when it came to the best companies for website development and chose AmericanEagle.com. And we couldn't be happier. AmericanEagle.com worked closely with us to understand the front and back end requirements needed to launch an e-commerce website that could handle the complexities of running thousands of seminars nationwide. Our robust new website and improved SEO saw immediate increases in site traffic and web revenue. If you're in need of managerial effectiveness and success, visit our website at amanet.org. If you're in need of a website that provides an unparalleled consumer experience, I highly recommend AmericanEagle.com.
Transform your business today. Dial 877-WEB-NOW-1 for a free digital consultation with AmericanEagle.com.
Have you had a chance to get down with FanDuel yet? No? Well, if you haven't, this is a perfect time of the year to do so because you've got baseball happening, hockey's going on, professional basketball, you name it, it is going on, and FanDuel has the best action available. And right now, new FanDuel customers can get up to $300 back in bonus bets every day for 10 days. This is how it works. Place any bet with FanDuel using your bet reset token, and if it doesn't win, you're going to get up to $300 back in bonus bets every single day for 10 straight days. Go to FanDuel.com/Missouri to sign up today. FanDuel, play your game. Must be 21 or over and present in Missouri. Bonus bets are non-withdrawable and expire 7 days after receipt. Tokens are received in increments of 1 per day. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Is your financial advisor working more for your retirement or for his? Find out the real story behind the financial industry with Greg Ayler. Saturdays at 1 on Fire Your Financial Advisor.
Get inside your Redbirds in the 2026 season every Tuesday at noon. It's All Access with Cardinals manager Ollie Marmol on your voice of the Cardinals, KMOX.
Back out on KMOX. It is a Gray Bar Sports Open Line. City SC last played a couple weekends ago. Played from a score standpoint. Their best, it was their best performance of the year. They beat New England 3-1. Coach Yohan DeMay might actually push back on their best performance of the year, but 3 goals is 3 goals for a team that had not been scoring. I'll certainly take that. After a weekend off, they are back at it as they're going to match up against New York City FC this weekend. On the Spanish language call, actually, no, check that. I'm sorry. He's only going to be on the English language call this upcoming weekend. He is Gino Savarese, and he joins us right now on the program. Gio, thanks for joining us. How are you?
Great. It's a pleasure to be with you. Always great to talk about San Luis.
Yeah, absolutely. So what was your takeaway from what we saw a couple weeks ago where they went out and scored 3 goals after going through almost a month of just really not being able to score a goal?
I think it's always great when you're able to score goals or win a match, get 3 points. It's always positive. But I think sometimes you have to see more than that. I think this is something that was coming. I think, unfortunately, that the results were not coming before, but the performance was definitely a good performance in the other games. I think the difference of this game was that the players were able to capitalize on the opportunities that they had, and that's why they were able to get a very good result and an important one, well needed at that particular moment.
How tough is it when the results are not there? But Coach Johan DeMay talked a lot about this, that through those losses and through those games of not scoring any goals, he was happy with the process. He was happy with a lot of things outside of the result. How tough is it to stick with that and continue to see some positive things happening when you don't have a win at the end of the night?
I think when you're coaching, you have to look at the positives if there are any. And when you see that you have a group that is committed, that the energy is high, that they're all together, that the locker room has a good culture, you feel good about yourself. And then that they understanding the style of play and what you are looking for them to do on the field, it's always positive. Even though you always want good results, at least you have a good feeling that things are going to, go your way when the team is doing everything that you're supposed to do. And I think the St. Louis team in the games that we saw before against LAFC and the other matches that they play, there was something in there that you felt it was going in the right direction. What was missing was the result, and finally against New England, you were able to get the 3 points that you were looking for.
From a player availability standpoint, a couple of developments this past week, and one won't impact the team in all likelihood, I would think, this weekend. But Edward Leuven, who's been through so much, and his wife recently passed away after a 2-year battle with brain cancer. I mean, just a devastating sore story, and everybody's been pulling for him. But he did get back onto the practice field this past week. It's going to be, you would think, at least a little while for him to get his fitness up to where it's going to be. But at some point in time, he's going to be back on the field and back in matches for City. What kind of impact will that have for the team?
It's a difficult one because when you go through a difficult moment, a very emotional moment, it requires a lot more for the player, and it's nothing that you can do but just support the player and see when he will be ready, because things go into a different context. I mean, family is the most important thing. All of a sudden, you have a very important loss in your family. That's something that you have to take care of step by step. And then I know that he's a very important player. He's a great player. He's a different maker for the team, but he needs to be at the right mindset in order to help. And I think this is a moment more to think about how to help him more than what he can do for the field. And the more that you do that, the more he's going to feel that he's committed and he's going to be able to provide what he needs to do on the team. But I think this moment is more about him feeling the right way and everybody supporting him for the difficult moment that he's going through.
Midfielder Celio Pompeu, he made his first start of the season against New England. He reportedly injures his right ACL in training last Thursday. All the team has said is that it's going to be out for an extended period, a non-contact injury. This sounds like a pretty serious thing. I know he hadn't played a ton, but we saw him get a start this past weekend. How much does it hurt for a young guy like him to now not be available for the team moving forward?
It's difficult, especially when you're young, when you have so much energy, when you're doing well and you see that that is viewed on the field and you're getting minutes and the coach is getting confident with you, and all of a sudden you get an injury. That's very tough, and it requires a strong mentality to be able to go through that, to be able to come back. In the meantime, it creates the opportunity for another player to be ready to step on and show what they're capable of. And I believe that there's some players in the way back that they're getting healthier in order to be able to help. So I think that's going to be important while Pompeo is getting better, and I'm sure that it's not going to be right away, but I'm sure that he's going to go through this moment and come back and provide the same that he was doing at this time, which I think it was one of the better players that St. Louis was seeing on the field and at the past few games.
City's going to be on the road at Citi Field against New York City FC coming up on Saturday. You're going to be on the call along with Callum Williams on the Apple TV English side of things. As you look at this matchup, what's the key or two that you see for City SC to take some momentum out of that New England matchup and continue to have some success for a second game in a row?
Yeah, you have to come with the right mentality as a St. Louis player. You have to come thinking that there's a plan in place, follow what the coach is saying, and just together as a group, they need to perform and try to get another 3 points. It's not going to be an easy game. For me, New York City is one of the best teams with one of the best coaches, not only because I feel that he has a good group of players that he's managing well. I think he's one of those few coaches that knows how to make adjustments in a match. So I believe that it's going to be a tough game. But for what I've seen from St. Louis, they're definitely going to compete. I'm sure that Coach Damed is going to have a very good strategy against this team. And I think it's going to be an excellent match to watch. And I'm glad to be able to do this game for Apple TV.
Gio Savarese going to be on the call. And I keep reminding folks when we have you guys on, it's a brand new world for MLS on Apple TV, no longer the double paywall. If you've got the subscription to Apple TV, you watch your Ted Lasso, you watch your morning show, you catch Friday Night Baseball. You also get access to everything MLS related, as opposed to in previous years needing that second subscription.
Definitely. And it's for everyone to have the opportunity now to watch more games. And this one, St. Louis and New York City, I think it will be a great match.
Gia, thanks so much for your time, and we look forward to talking to you again down the line. Have a good call this weekend.
Thank you. Always a pleasure. Take care.
You bet.
Bye.
Very good. That is Gio Savarese joining us on the program. Again, he'll be on the Apple TV call coming up this weekend. Kyle Sixt is here. Kyle, I don't know about you. Are you a fan of the show Shark Tank?
I wouldn't say a big fan, just a casual fan. Like, I've seen clips that are funny and interesting.
So one of the sharks, he was previously a guest shark.
Okay.
He is now like a full-time shark. He's got in the shark promotion is Daniel Lubitsky. He started Kind Bar.
I know those.
They're really good.
Yeah.
Daniel and Gio sound very similar to each other. As I was sitting there talking, and I hope people listening agree. In fact, you know what? If anybody's listening and you agree or disagree, and you are a big Shark Tank fan like me, tell me if you agree or disagree. You can text into the program. I want to know if I'm right on this or wrong. I need a little bit of just people backing me up on this. You can text in 314-436-7900. 314-436-7900. I'm doing that interview with Gio, and I'm like, who does he sound like? Who does he sound like? And then it hits me, and it feels like I am talking to Daniel from Shark Tank.
Did it make you feel like you wanted to make him an offer?
I did. Like, what can I invent real quick? What can I offer 10% of for $100,000? What can I do? So did anybody else get Daniel from Shark Tank vibes from our interview right there? Just text in or leave a comment if you're watching on the video stream. We're not taking phone calls on this one, but I just want to know, am I on an island? Am I all alone on this, or does somebody kind of agree? 314-436-7900. Just let me know. I just need to get a little bit of backup here. We'll take a break. We'll jump back into Cardinals baseball. A few things to talk about, before we wrap up hour number 1 of the program. It's a Gray Bar Sports Open Line right here on KMOX.
Game day comfort steps up to the plate Saturday, April 11th, when the Cardinals face the Boston Red Sox downtown. That night, fans can score a Cardinals dugout hoodie presented by Mercy, built for cool nights, late innings, and early season baseball. It's a classic, easy-to-wear layer you'll reach for all year long. Available in medium or extra large while supplies last. Don't miss this spring matchup. Get tickets and details at cardinals.com/promotions.
Every Sunday home game is a kids' Sunday at Busch Stadium. From Team Redbird and games to a kid-friendly DJ, ice cream, and family-favorite activities, Sundays are built for young fans. Plus, select Sundays feature kids run the bases after the game. It's a day made for smiles, memories, and Cardinals baseball together. Make Sundays your family tradition at Busch Stadium. Tickets and details at cardinals.com/kidssunday.
Calling all All runners, register now for the Cardinals 5K on Saturday, April 18th, and you can take a victory lap on the field at Busch Stadium. Don't miss this chance to bring the whole family for a fun St. Louis 5K race that brings fans together to support kids in the community. The Cardinals 5K, Saturday, April 18th. Register now at cardinals.com/5K. And for more information, just head to KMOX.com/events.
There's a difference between liking a house and actually getting it. Redfin is built to make up that difference and close the gap between finding and owning the home for you. Redfin agents close twice as many deals as other agents. So when you find a home you love, you're not a step behind when it's time to make an offer. That means less watching great homes disappear and more focus on the ones you'll actually move into and call home. Redfin helps turn saved listings into real addresses. Get started at redfin.com. Own the dream.
At LendSeek, we know running a business takes heart, hustle, and sometimes a little help. That's why we stand with you with our exclusive AI lending platform, connecting you to over 100 funders. If you've been in business for at least 2 years with a minimum annual revenue of $500,000, you can get up to $1 million in funding in as fast as 24 hours. No collateral, no prepayment penalties, no red tape. Apply today with no cost or obligation at lendseek.com. That's LENDSEEK.com.
Hey guys, Glover here for my friends at Cantor Injury Law. So as you know, I'm a lawyer, haven't practiced in a long time, but I did plaintiff's work and defense work, so I have a pretty good understanding of it. I have a pretty good idea of who's who in the firmament of plaintiffs, attorneys, and for my money, Mark Cantor is the guy. He's a great attorney. He is a great practitioner. He's put together a great team. He was born and raised here. He lives here. He works here. He wins here. Call 314-628-ALL-9s or CantorInjuryLaw.com. The choice of a lawyer is an important decision. It should not be based on advertising.
The summer heat and humidity will be here soon. Is your air conditioner ready? This is Corey with Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation. If your cooling system hasn't been checked to be ready for the warm weather, call Air Comfort Service. AC checks keep your equipment operating at maximum efficiency, prevent repairs, and extend the life of your equipment. For every AC clean and check booked in April, we'll donate a bag of pet food to Open Door Animal Sanctuary in House Springs. Stay in your comfort zone with a cooling system check from Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation. Visit aircomfortservice.com. That's aircomfortservice.com.
Many times, a person hires a law firm after an injury without doing research. It can be a big mistake or not. Sometimes, after you have hired a certain lawyer, you realize you made a certain mistake. But guess what? Just because you hired them doesn't mean you can't fire them. I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. If you think you've hired the wrong firm, you may have. So do this. Google Morgan & Morgan results or visit forthepeople.com for cases just like yours. You may find that our full-service injury firm should have been your choice in the first place. Last year, almost 12,000 people discharged their law firm and hired us after further research. We became America's largest injury firm for a reason. Visit forthepeople.com today and let's get started. Or call Pound Law on your cell phone. Morgan & Morgan, for the people.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements. Past results afford no guarantee of future results. Every case is different and must be judged on its own merits.
Welcome back to the Gray Bar Sports Open Live. Once again, Matt Pauley on KMOX.
Back at just a few minutes left here in hour number one of the program. Hour number two, I'll be honest, it's going to be a little bit of a different kind of hour. We're going to be talking to some folks that aren't like in the standard sports talk realm, but that's all right. It's good to talk to interesting people. I always like having interesting conversations, and I think that's what we've got coming up in the 7 o'clock hour. I don't know anything about Supercross. I know less than nothing. I don't know what I don't know. I know nothing about. I'm not really a huge motorsports guy. If you put me in a corner and I have to talk NASCAR, I probably can do it. I probably, by osmosis, I probably know enough. But yeah, like Supercross, which is motorcycles, don't know anything except it looks really cool. I do know that it looks cool. And Supercross is going to be running the Dome this upcoming weekend. And we're going to talk with Carter Stevenson, who is a Supercross driver. He's based in Rolla. So he's a local guy. It's the national tour that's coming in, but he's a local guy, somewhat local. We're going to talk with him. And then we're going to do our weekly community spotlight. We do this with Busey Bank. It's building community with Busey Bank Beyond the Game, where we take someone who is connected to sports and impacts the community through sports. And Greg Poole who we've talked to before. He's a really, really cool story. He runs a sports card shop in Benton, Illinois, in Southern Illinois. And all the proceeds from that sports card shop goes to do just amazing things. So that's going to be in the 7 o'clock hour as well. Hopefully you are tuned in for that. Got a text message. It's a really good question. Said, Matt, what are you seeing in Chris Roycroft that gives you optimism? I'm not seeing it. I didn't see it last year. And even when he was marginally effective in 2024, it was low-level situations. His body language always looks like he's nervous. Great question. I was frustrated with Roycroft's performance yesterday when he did not throw strikes. I was not, believe it or not, and I know this is going to be crazy because he had like a 12 ERA. I was actually not frustrated with what we saw from Roycroft in the first 2 games, outside of the fact that I would like to see a little bit more swing and miss from him. The fact that you weren't getting swing and miss, that was the only level of frustration. The fact that this other stuff was happening in a small sample size at the early time, I was trying really, Kyle, I'm trying to not use the term small sample size because we're all using it way too often right now. So it just can't, I need a pen to like prick myself in the hand anytime I say that phrase.
I'm going to hold up a big sign that says no small sample size.
So I'm working on it. I know people don't want to hear about it. I am actively working. I need a thesaurus because I need to be able to say that phrase in different ways. I'm working on it. Anyways, I was not bothered by Roycroft's first 2 appearances, even though he had a 12 ERA or whatever it was, because the soft contact was crazy. He was among the league leaders. He was pitching at an elite rate in terms of soft contact against him. You do that over a 162 game season, you're going to be fine. You're going to be fine. It's all going to work out. It's all going to even out. It was bad luck. That was the first 2 appearances for him. Yesterday wasn't bad luck. Yesterday I was disappointed with what I saw. He did not throw strikes. And if he throws strikes, he's going to be fine. The reason I'm not even comparing him to last year and the year before, he did a ton of work in the offseason. He changed his throwing motion. If you go like do side by side and look at Roycroft from last year and Roycroft in the first 2 games of this year and look at the throwing motion, there was a ton of work that he put in and it looks different. So I'm not going to judge the guy's performance from last year and put it to this year. I was really bummed for him because I am somebody who thinks that like the quicksand theory, that all of a sudden stuff starts going bad and you try to dig yourself out of it and it just gets worse and worse and worse and worse. I am worried about that for Roycroft, legitimately worried about that for him because he looked great in spring. He put in amazing work in the offseason. All the under the hood stats looked really good for him, even coming off those first 2 games. But then weird, wacky, bad stuff started happening to him. And sometimes all that starts happening and you never recover all the way for it. It's like yesterday when he came in and there was the one ball that hit him and they got to win and he made the play on it. Like the moment that happened, I went, are you kidding me? This guy can't catch a break. Like just more weird stuff is happening to him. And I really just want him to have a normal inning. That's what I want. Throw strikes, 1, 2, 3 inning, maybe 1 runner or something like that, and just have that experience and move forward because I am a big believer. His stuff will play at this level. His stuff absolutely will play at this level. He does some things that very few pitchers in baseball can do. He has yet to put it all together. Got some bad luck as well this year. It's a Gray Bar Sports Open Line on KMOX.
Time now for today's Spotlight on Tech, sponsored by Ethos.
The iPhone 17 has been a big hit in China. Counterpoint Research reports that iPhone sales jumped 23% during the first 9 weeks of 2026, despite overall smartphone sales declining in China. The report says Apple benefited from e-commerce discounts and iPhone 17 subsidies. Apple and Huawei are expected to be the most likely smartphone makers to expand their market share in 2026. I'm Jason Brooks.
If you own a small business, the pressure never lets up. Something's always coming at you. That's why business owners turn to LendSeek for funding.
I don't need promises. I need options. LendSeek's AI platform showed me real funding choices. Now I can cover payroll, handle taxes, and go after growth opportunities without the daily stress.
Up to $5 million with funding in as fast as 24 hours. No upfront costs. No prepayment penalties. Start ready, stay ready. Lendseek.com. LENDSEEK.com.
We just want to have enough money for retirement.
And travel to visit our grandchildren.
I understand. That's why at Fisher Investments, we start by getting to know each other so I can learn about your family, lifestyle, goals, and needs, allowing us to tailor your portfolio.
What about commission-based products?
We don't sell those. We're a fiduciary, obligated to act in your best interest.
So how do your management fees work?
We have a simple management fee based on the value of your portfolio. So we do better when you do better.
We appreciate that kind of transparency.
We also check in with you regularly to keep you up to date on the markets and your portfolio.
Well, what other services do you offer?
As a client, you have access to resources on investing, financial planning, estate planning, Social Security, Medicare, and more.
Wow, sounds like Fisher Investments has everything we need.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at fisherinvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
This is the story of the one. As a procurement manager for a hospital system, she keeps every facility in her network stocked and ready. That's why she counts on Grainger to be her single source for thousands of products, from disinfectants to lighting, air filters, and more. And with fast, dependable delivery, Grainger helps her keep every facility stocked, safe, and running smoothly. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Staples presents That Was Easy.
So I own a coffee shop, and I wanted to label everything with our logo.
That's ambitious.
Cups, boxes, bags.
Ooh, that'll add up.
Not at all, because right now, Staples prints custom labels for 30% off.
30% off? That's shockingly affordable branding.
Yep, now our logo and URL are seen all over town.
Brand your business for less at Staples.
That was easy.
Shop Staples in-store, online, or in the app by 4/18 to unlock. Exclusions apply. Visit staples.com/print for details.
The trusted voice of St. Louis. KMOX AM St. Louis. KMOX FM Hazelwood. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
This is CBS News on the Hour, your home for original reporting.
I'm Jennifer Kuiper. The 4 Artemis 2 astronauts on a moon mission appear to be leaving Earth's orbit on course for the moon. NASA's abbreviation of the day is TLI, Trans-Lunar Injection, the rocket firing that has just taken place and described as a good burn. Mission Control saying earlier,
Houston is go for TLI.
Integrity copies, and your integrity crew is go for TLI. With this burn to the moon, we do not leave Earth. We choose it.
Astronaut Christina Cook saying that because this engine firing sets up the course for their return to Earth and splashdown. Pam Bondi is out as Attorney General. While President Trump publicly praised her work, sources tell CBS News his support for her had been eroding for months, and tensions appeared to rise over Bondi's handling of the Epstein files. CBS's Aaron Navarro has more on Todd Blanche, who steps in as acting AG, and other possible candidates.
He is someone that has been elevated as a public face for the Department of Justice, but other names out there that could end up serving as the Attorney General in the long term include EPA Administrator Lee Zeldin, whose name has also been floated. He did not take questions during a public event about potentially becoming the next U.S. Attorney General. And Assistant Attorney General for Civil Rights Harmeet Dillon has been floated online by many of Trump's allies as a potential successor.
Iran wastes no time in responding to President Trump's primetime address, during which he spoke of the U.S.'s progress in the war with Iran. CBS's Holly Williams.
Iran has issued what seems to be a direct response to President Trump's address to the nation last night, and it is typically fiery. A spokesman for Iran's military command said in a statement addressing the U.S. and Israel this morning, quote, "This war will continue until you experience humiliation, permanent regret, and inevitable surrender."
It's Holy Thursday. Pope Leo has marked with a Mass what the New Testament says was the Last Supper of Jesus shared with his disciples before his crucifixion on Good Friday. Smacking your lips over using that hotel room coffee maker? CBS's Allison Key says think twice.
It all started with an online influencer telling people they can get clean underwear if they use their hotel room coffee maker.
Put your underwear where you would put the coffee grounds. You close it,
You press brew. And then use your blow dryer to dry them. Now the fallout as one TikTok user shares video of dozens of coffee machines.
Y'all, what hotel has donated every single one of their coffee makers to my Goodwill?
You? Allison Keys, CBS News.
This is CBS News.
I want to know what's going on in the world.
I'm Tony.
There are big questions that all of us are asking. I want to get you the answers.
How are you?
I'm Tony DeCopel. Join me on the CBS Evening News.
At 7:03, we've got 72 degrees and some wind downtown at the Arch. After approval of a data center proposal in Festus, a citizens group is launching an effort to drum those city officials out of office.
It's a tactic that's been tried in other communities across the country, a recall petition. Under Missouri law, citizens can petition to vote officials out of office, citing misconduct, incompetence, or failure to perform their duties. Sherman Doyle is one of 11 homeowners targeted for buyout.
And from the get-go, it's been shady. You know, people knew, other people didn't know, we didn't know, and I mean, it's right in our backyard.
Under Missouri law, the group has 60 days to collect signatures from at least 25% of eligible Festus voters and then submit those to the county clerk. Festus Mayor Sam Richards has told KMOX the process has been transparent and has included public input. Megan Lynch, KMOX News.
New federal numbers show Missouri has the fastest job growth in the nation and one of the nation's best labor participation rates. Kara Korchis of the Missouri Chamber of Commerce tells Missourinet that apprenticeship programs are a big part of that.
So I would say whatever we're doing in terms of helping and removing obstacles for individuals to go to work seems to be working.
The same study found Missouri added 52,000 jobs last year. Among the biggest gaining sectors, healthcare and education, leisure and hospitality, and mining, logging, and construction. The federal government is jumping into the fight over Missouri's high school sports and how its governing board picks its members. The Justice Department's Civil Rights Division is intervening in an existing lawsuit against Misha, backing a white male candidate who was disqualified from a board seat because of his race and gender. The DOJ is asking a court to block the policy entirely, calling it, quote, offensive and demeaning. Hours after he delivered a walk-off hit to beat the Mets, Cardinal shortstop Mason Wynn was in a single-car crash on 6440. The team says he was alone in the vehicle, wet pavement was a factor, and he was checked out at a hospital with no serious injuries. Forecast overnight, windy, clouds, showers, and a few non-severe storms with a low of 62. For tomorrow, we've got sunshine, some showers and storms as well, with a high of 83. 55 and showers tomorrow night, 60 for Saturday, and 55 for Easter Sunday. We've got some wind right now out of the south at 16, gusting up to 29 miles an hour. It's 72 degrees downtown at the Arch. I'm Michael Calhoun, KMOX News.
Welcome back to the Gray Bar Sports Open Line. Once again, Matt Pauley on KMOX.
Back out as we get into hour number 2 of the program, a very busy second hour. We're going to have a couple interviews coming up. We're going to talk with Greg Poole later on this hour. He runs Cans Ministry, which is a sports card shop that's used as a charitable outreach to do all kinds of crazy things, amazing things. So we'll talk with him later this hour. Also, Carter Stevenson, who's going to be in St. Louis at the Dome this weekend for the Supercross event. Tickets are still available for that. Sounds like just... It sounds like a cool deal. I've never been to something like that, but I know folks here in St. Louis support those type of events. And it's something I don't know if I'm going to get out on Saturday this time, but something that I would certainly like to be able to enjoy at some point in the future for sure. 314-436-7900, 314-436-7900. That's how you call. That's how you text. You can also tweet at me if you'd like, at Matt Pauley on air, MattPauley on air. Disappointing loss for the Blues last night. Just want to mention that real quickly before we get into some other things. They've had back-to-back 1-goal losses. Now, admittedly, yesterday was in overtime, so you get a point, and the point's helpful, I guess. But if they could have won their last 2 games, they'd be right there. They'd be right where they would need to be. And now losing against the Sharks and losing against the Kings, 2 teams that are in front of you in the standings, just right when they were starting to give you a little bit of hope, the hope starts to fall back a bit. From a very technical standpoint, I guess they don't fall back any further than where they were at yesterday. Yesterday at this time, they had 73 points. Nashville had 77 points, and Nashville was holding the final wild card spot. Now they have 74 points. The Kings move into the final playoff spot with 78. So you're still 4 back, but it's 4 back with one less game played, one less day to go, and just you have this big opportunity in front of you with the back-to-back games against San Jose and LA, the team now holding the final wild card spot and the top team out in San Jose from the wild card position. So really disappointing couple games there for the Blues as people started to believe. Not that it's completely and totally out of the realm of possibility for them to still find a way and sneak their way in. It just seems a whole lot less probable at this point as they are sitting just 8 games to go. 8 games left in the season and only a couple weeks left in the season. They are scheduled to wrap up the season on April 16th. That's 2 weeks from today. So there's exactly 2 weeks left in the Blues season. And they've got some tough opponents coming up. They're going to play back-to-back against Colorado. So they're on this 4-game West Coast road trip right now. They've played San Jose and the Kings. They're going to play Anaheim coming up tomorrow night. And then they play Colorado on Sunday. They'll come home from playing Colorado and play Colorado again on Tuesday. And here's the scary thing about Colorado, other than the fact that they're really good. They're not playing well right now for the most part. They're the Stanley Cup favorite. They're the best team in the NHL. They've had a lot of what they needed to get wrapped up for a while. But like, for example, yesterday, they gave up 8 goals to Vancouver. The Avalanche gave up 8 goals. So they're going to lock it back in at some point. That's where I'm taking a long road to get where I want to go. What's scary about them is they're really, really good. And right now, they're not playing great hockey. They're going to come back around, and it's just going to be the Blues' luck that the Avalanche are absolutely going to find themselves in those back-to-back games that the Blues play against them. Only 4 home games left, April 7th, April 9th against Colorado and Winnipeg, and then April 13th and April 14th against Minnesota and Pittsburgh, respectively. So Blues gave us a little bit of hope. Hope, as we all learned in Shawshank Redemption, hope can be a dangerous thing. And maybe in this situation, hope was a little bit of a dangerous thing, as the Blues do not seem to be doing exactly what they needed to do to legitimately put themselves back into this spot to maybe make a bit of a playoff run, or a run to the playoffs would be the better way to say that, as opposed to a playoff run. Because even if they were to sneak into the playoffs, like last year when they got into the playoffs, even as the final team, and I felt great about them. And we can argue that they should have won that first round series last year. That still bugs me, the way that final game ended up going down. This year, let's say they go on a bit of a run here and other teams just can't win games to save their lives and they find their way in. I feel a lot different this year. Like, I don't think that they would have that great shot in the first round the way I felt last year. But that's neither here nor there. We are going to take ourselves a break. And when we come back, we're going to talk, actually, have you ever wanted to learn about what it's like to be a Supercross driver? Well, they're going to be at the Dome this weekend. We're going to learn a little bit about it coming up in just a moment. It's Gray Bar Sports Open Line right here on KMOX.
To have a roof over your head, a nice roof over your head, is very important.
That's Rick talking about his experience with Rhino Shield ceramic coating.
We got Rhino Shield 18 years ago, and they're very cooperative on getting us the right paint. They were in and out and done in no time. Once it was finished, looked great. We were very happy with it.
The main reason Rick called Rhino Shield is because it's backed by a 25-year transferable warranty.
We've watched a lot of people get their house painted 3 or 4 times, and we haven't had to do any of it. I don't know about you guys, but I don't want to have to paint it every 5-7 years.
Take a tip from Rick and put down the paintbrush and call Rhino Shield for your free evaluation. 877-25-RHINO. 877-25-RHINO. Or visit 877-25rhino.com.
We got Rhino Shield 18 years ago. Financially makes sense, especially if it's going to last like this did. Still looks great.
Call now. 877-25-RHINO or 877-25rhino.com.
Don't paint, don't Rhino, go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
Springfest is happening now at Lowe's. Keep the spotlight on your yard with Stay Green Premium 2 cubic foot mulch, 5 bags for $10. Plus, when you want more help indoors, get up to 40% off select major appliances that help you supercharge your chores. Our best lineup is here at Lowe's. Valid to 4/22 while supplies last. Selection varies by location. See Lowe's.com for details. Mulch offer excludes Alaska and Hawaii.
There's a difference between liking a house and actually getting it. Redfin is built to make up that difference and close the gap between finding and owning the home for you. Redfin agents close twice as many deals as other agents, so when you find a home you love, you're not a step behind when it's time to make an offer. That means less watching great homes disappear and more focus on the ones you'll actually move into and call home. Redfin helps turn saved listings into real addresses. Get started at redfin.com. Own the dream.
Looking to build your dream home? Lombardo Homes is known for quality, luxury, and thoughtful design in some of the area's most desirable communities. And for a limited time this April, we're offering something we rarely do. Exclusive incentives designed to help you get more from your new home. From a free finished recreation room to premium kitchen and cabinet upgrades to flexible perks like design credits or closing cost savings, there's an opportunity waiting for you. But these offers are available in select communities and only for a short time. Visit LombardoHomes.com or stop by a sales office today.
Inflation is squeezing budgets, and global events can shake markets overnight. If you're close to retirement, you don't get unlimited do-overs. So this is not the time for, I hope it works out. That's why Steve All and the team at the All Financial Group are hosting an upcoming educational seminar called Retirement Simplified, April 14th and 16th at Bartolino's Twin Oaks. You'll learn how rising costs could drain your spending power, how political and economic headlines can impact your returns, dealing with issues like taxes, outliving your money, and long-term care. Find out if your retirement strategy is truly stress-tested for today's economy. 636-230-8824 or at yourmoneymattersstl.com. Investment advisory products and services made available through Impact Partnership Wealth, LLC, IPW, or registered investment advisor. Neither the firm nor its agents or representatives may give tax or legal advice. Individuals should consult with a qualified professional for guidance before making any purchasing decisions. The All Financial Group is not affiliated with nor endorsed by the U.S. government or any other government agency.
Working hard but still falling behind? Learn how real estate investing can help you build income and move forward with purpose. Text radio to 88007. That's RADIO to 88007. Presented by Lifestyles Unlimited.
For 100 years, KMOX has been a part of St. Louis. Now, those moments live on, preserved, remastered, and ready to be heard again. Discover KMOX from the Archives, a podcast featuring classic audio from a century of service.
Sponsored by Overhead Door Company of St. Louis, the genuine, the original.
The KMOX from the Archives podcast, available now at KMOX100.com or wherever you get your podcasts. Proudly serving St. Louis for over 100 years. KMOX, the voice of St. Louis.
It's a Great Bar Sports Open Line right here on KMOX. Coming up on Saturday, we are going to see Supercross at the Dome and to talk a little bit about what you're going to see if you head out there and what's going to be a very, very cool event with the Supercross Challenge Pro Motocross Championship going on. We're very happy to welcome on to the program. He is Carter Stevenson. He is a Rolla product, and he is a big deal when it comes to all of this, and he's got a few minutes for us. Carter, thanks so much for taking some time with us. How are you?
Heck yeah. Thank you so much, Matt. I'm great. How are y'all?
I am good. So for folks who get on out to the Dome to see you and all the folks competing, kind of explain what they are in for just during what is a kind of a full day type thing.
Yeah, it is a full day, man. You guys can expect to have a ton of fun. You guys are going to be watching some of the best dirt bike racers in the world going head to head all day, all night. You guys are going to be expecting to see a professional dirt bike track built inside of a stadium. Obviously, they used to play football inside this stadium. There'll be a cool fireworks show to kick things off, and be tons of action-packed racing all day long.
Yeah, gates are going to open. Practice and qualifying will start at 11 o'clock in the morning. Fan Fest going on from 11 to 5. Opening ceremonies 5 o'clock. Racing starts at 5:30, and it rolls through that. During those Fan Fest hours, what can folks expect?
Man, honestly, Supercross is one of the coolest professional sports out there where you can really get close with the racers, can really come say what's up. You can sign autographs. Racers can sign autographs for these fans. We really get the high five, get to get down with the kids, get to let them sit on the bike man, these guys can expect to have a ton of fun on Saturday.
So I see this sometimes on TV and everything. The thing that always this is me having no clue what I'm talking about, trying to ask questions about this. But the thing that just jumps out at me is how many of you guys are on the track at any given moment, and the fact that there isn't more crashes, and that you all are able to be out there almost not in unison because you're competing against each other, but it is just remarkable the skill that goes along with this with so much that's going on around you.
Totally. I would definitely agree with all of that, man. These guys, including myself, we've been doing this our entire lives. This is all of our hearts, all of our life's work going into this. And so really, I mean, this is what we do. So we are used to racing each other in tight quarters. There's typically 20 riders on the track at a time. The main event will have 22 riders, but each heat race will have 20 riders. And then in the qualifying practices earlier in the day, we'll have 20 riders on the track as well. So, man, like I said, these guys are crafts at the sport, and everybody is an absolute top athlete. And so these guys are truly doing some amazing things on these dirt bikes.
Mentioned that you're from Raleigh, so you're kind of from the area, hour and a half south of here in St. Louis. What's your origin story? How in the world did you get into this?
Man, my father always wanted to race supercross or wanted to race dirt bikes. Was never really privileged enough to, and gave me and my brother the opportunity of a lifetime, and got us into it at a very young age. I've been on two wheels ever since I was 2 years old, and man, I won my first national title when I was just 6 years old, and won a world championship over in Europe at 9 years old, and just have really been chasing this my entire life. I'm really blessed to be able to come back home to Raleigh, Missouri, and work for Stallman Power Sports. They're really, truly like family to me, and they've always supported me. And it's just one of those things that I'm glad to be able to bring it full circle and to be able to represent for them the way that they've really stood behind me for all these years.
That's really cool that you tell the story about how young you were when you started. I know you spend a fair amount of time working with kids and teaching them how to ride, and you're at training camps and everything. How important is it that you were a young kid getting this opportunity and you try to help so many other kids do that exact same thing?
Honestly, it's something that's paramount for my life, to be able to give back to the sport. It definitely means the world to me to be able to teach these kids and teach them how to have respect for themselves, how to have respect for the bike, how to have respect for their families, because families truly are sacrificing everything that they make and everything that they have to go racing and to put these kids at the top level of the sport.
We're talking with Carter Stevenson again. It's going to be a really cool event coming up Saturday, April 4th at the Dome. Supercross is going to be here in St. Louis. I've got a couple kids. My oldest is a 7-year-old daughter. I can't imagine how in the world I would even start to teach her to get onto a motorized bike and do these sort of things. What is it like for both what you remember from you were little and then also when you're working with these other kids now?
Well, it's super cool for me. I'm 28. I have a 3.5-year-old daughter myself, and she actually beat my learning curve and was riding two wheels at 2 years old and 6 months, with no training wheels. And so Stasics are great tools. Strider bikes are great tools for these little kids. But beyond that, really just these trail bikes, a KLX 110, a CRF 110, being able to start them on a small bike, get them used to it, and just really get them behind a set of bars with a throttle on it, and get them to be able to feel the freedom that a dirt bike can bring to them.
You guys are all over the country every single week. You're in a different place. Recently in Detroit, you're coming out. You're going to go to Nashville after you're here in St. Louis. Still have Cleveland and Philadelphia and Denver and a bunch of other cities that are on the schedule. But for you being from the area, what does it mean to be able to be in St. Louis? And I'm sure friends and family and all kinds of folks are going to be here watching you.
Yeah, definitely. For me, it really is a feel-good. It's a feel-good race for me because I can remember being 4 years old, going there in 2002, and watching Jeremy McGrath do his thing. And my first race in St. Louis was 2020 before COVID. And really, it's just one of those things that every year St. Louis is on the schedule. I look forward to it far more than any other race. And I'm just so blessed to be able to go race my dirt bike in front of all these fans.
Is there anything that you have to do when you come to St. Louis other than obviously be doing this? But is there any food or whatever? I mean, what's the schedule look like for you?
Man, it's honestly a lot of family time for sure. I usually have some family that drives in, ton of friends, and we try to do some autograph signing at Stallman Power Sports in Rolla, Missouri. So we'll be there signing some autographs. We'll be there getting the bike ready, just trying to do some on the bike training during the week. Being so close to home, it's nice to be able to have a week at your home base and to be able to kind of ride your own training grounds and be able to get back in your home gym and just spend some time eating some home cooked meals and some time with the family before it's go time. It's challenging travel. What does it look like though for you when you go from one event to the next? Do you always go straight to the next one? Do you come back home for a few days? Like what does a week look like for you generally? Man, it's a little different for me typically. I'm a little different than most. For about 6 years, I was a construction manager. So I was a one-man band, running around like a chicken with my head cut off, trying to get to the races, trying to get back home, to go to work on Monday, and to make a living and treat this as my side hustle. And so realistically right now I'm blessed to be working for Stallman Power Sports. I'm the race team manager there for them, for the professional side and the amateur side. And so right now I am basing out of Rolla, and I am coming back week to week after these races. And luckily Missouri is right in the middle. So might be a little bit of a hassle with some travel and stuff, but yeah, the hours on the road are definitely long for us. He is Carter Stevenson. Again, you can get all the details about the event at the Supercross website. That's supercrosslive.com, supercrosslive.com. Tickets are available. Ticketmaster.com is where you can get those. Again, you can take the family out, have the entire day there. Gates are going to open up at 11 o'clock in the morning, hours of Fan Fest racing coming up at night, and it's going to be a very, very busy night. Carter, great to get to know you a little bit. I love talking to folks who do things like this that maybe I don't totally understand, and I really hope I can hear it in your voice how much this means to you, and just the idea that you guys can put on a good show for the fans. So hopefully the people listening are hearing the same thing and they get out and watch you guys coming up. Heck yeah, I hope to meet you soon, man, and I definitely hope to meet some of these fans on Saturday. Come by and see our pit. Look for the number 824, and we're gonna be handing out some high fives and autographs. That's for sure. Awesome, very good. That is Carter Stevenson. Carter, thank you again. Thank you, guys. That is Carter Stevenson joining us on the program again. Supercross at the Dome coming up on Saturday. Gates are opening up and practice and qualifying starting at 11 o'clock in the morning. The Fan Fest hours are 11 to 5. They'll do opening ceremonies at 5 o'clock, and then racing is going to start at 5:30. Tickets, Fan Fest passes are available online, Ticketmaster.com. You can also head to supercrosslive.com to get more information. What a life that is for somebody like Carter Stevenson. First off, getting started as early as he did, as someone with young kids, I couldn't even imagine. And then just the life of going and doing this every single weekend for a good portion of the year. That is an interesting life for sure, and appreciate getting to know Carter a little bit here on the program. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to do our weekly Building Community interview. This is something that we've just started doing over the last few weeks. We're working with Busey Bank as it's Building Community with Busey Bank Beyond the Game. And we're talking with really interesting people who use sports as a way to make the community better. And we're talking with somebody who uses baseball cards in a card shop in Southern Illinois. Maybe you've heard the story, maybe you haven't. It is a fantastic story with a really cool individual. We'll give you all the details, and we'll talk with Greg Poole coming up in just a moment here on a Gray Bar Sports Open Line on KMOX.
Hey, Missouri, it's game time. Start betting like a pro with the world's largest sportsbook at your fingertips. Hi, I'm Derek Stevens. I'm a lifelong sports bettor, and I'm the owner of Circus Sports. It's sports betting the way it should be, with high limits, player-friendly pricing, exceptional customer service, and more. Download your new bookie at circusports.com. The action starts now, Missouri. Experience the difference with Circus Sports. Bet like a pro.
Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Hey, this is Charlie Brennan.
If it's cold outside, the team at Morelli Tuck Pointing is still busy. During colder months, Morelli can inspect any exposed brick inside your house. If your basement has a stone or black wall, Morelli can remove the worn-out mortar from that wall and replace it with new mortar. This tuck pointing work will reinforce your foundation, prevent water from entering your home, and thwart pests. This is a great time to get the inside of your garage inspected, and the same goes for your brick or stone fireplace. I've used Morelli Tuck Pointing to repair the chimneys, walkways, and walls of 2 homes here in St. Louis. The Morelli bids are fair, their crews are super polite, and they clean their job sites. Don't take my word for it. Check out the reviews on Google. Winner of the BBB Torch Award and the Next Door Neighbor Fave Award, 35 years in business, an A-plus rating from the Better Business Bureau, 314-645-1387, MorelliTuckPointing.com.
April is the perfect time to reset your home for the long run, and Universal Windows Direct makes that decision easy. Right now, when you buy 2 windows, get 2 for free, and there's no limit. Plus, you'll get 24 months with no payments and no interest, giving you a full 2 years to enjoy the comfort before you pay a dime, and a $500 bonus off your home improvement project. Universal Windows Direct has been great to me. They've been great to all of my listeners. They are absolutely the real deal. 314-334-2522 or universalwindowsdirect.com.
Experience the power and passion of Mahler's Fifth Symphony with the St. Louis Symphony Orchestra. Music director Stefan Denev leads this monumental work, paired with the St. Louis Symphony Orchestra's first performances of Carlos Simon's Double Concerto Suite, featuring Grammy-winning violinist Hilary Hahn and cellist Seth Parker Woods. April 10th, 11th, and 12th at Powell Hall at the Jack C. Taylor Music Center. Tickets at slso.org.
Your 401k, 403b, and IRA, it's a future tax time bomb. I'll help you retire younger, richer, and with less anxiety. Let's avoid all those taxes on your IRA or 401k. Get your retirement questions answered. Wealth and Wisdom with Gary Goldberg, Saturday mornings at 7 here on KMOX FM 104.1. And then see your tax time bomb at checkwithgary.com.
Keep your family safe with help from Menards. From smoke and carbon monoxide detectors to fire extinguishers and more, Kidde home safety products keep your family protected in case of emergencies. Kidde detectors feature enhanced sensing technology that reduces false alarms and give fast alerts for more time to get out safely. Check out all our Kidde safety products and check out our weekly flyer on Menards.com for more great deals happening now.
Save big money at Menards.
Looking to build your dream home? Lombardo Homes is known for quality, luxury, and thoughtful design in some of the area's most desirable communities. And for a limited time this April, we're offering something we rarely do. Exclusive incentives designed to help you get more from your new home. From a free finished recreation room to premium kitchen and cabinet upgrades to flexible perks like design credits or closing cost savings, there's an opportunity waiting for you. But these offers are available in select communities and only for a short time. Visit LombardoHomes.com or stop by a sales office today.
Get inside your Redbirds in the 2026 season every Tuesday at noon. It's All Access with Cardinals manager Ollie Marmol on your voice of the Cardinals, KMOX.
You are locked into a Gray Bar Sports Open Line right here on KMOX. My name is Matt Pauley. This is one of my favorite things that we've just started doing over the last few weeks. We've partnered with Busey Bank, and I'm so appreciative that Busey Bank wants to do this and that I get to be part of it, because I think it's just awesome that we put the spotlight on some really cool individuals at Busey Bank. They know that behind every financial choice is someone ready to build something extraordinary. From stronger communities to thriving businesses and lasting legacies, they help you turn intention to impact. Busey Bank, building extraordinary together. So what we're doing now is we're building community with Busey Bank beyond the game, where each week we put a spotlight on somebody who's using sports as a way to make the community better. And we're about to talk with Greg Poole. Greg, maybe you've heard his story. It's a really cool one. Essentially, he runs a baseball card shop or a card shop in Benton, Illinois, in Southern Illinois. And they take all the proceeds, all the money that they make, and you talk about having a profound impact on the community. They then use that money to fund so many different services and projects. It's an incredible ministry, and we're happy to bring on to the program right now Greg Poole. Greg, thanks for taking some time with us today. How are you?
We are well. As always, it is a pleasure to be talking with you guys.
I can try to kind of explain the whole situation, but I'm not going to do half as good of a job as you will. Can you? We'll get into some of the specifics, but can you just kind of give us that general overview of what you're doing and all the different ways that the money that you raise and the money that you collect impacts so many different people in so many different walks of life?
Yeah, so you did hit essentially the nail on the head. So we do operate a small sports card shop. We have branched out a little bit, but we're located in Southern Illinois, and so 100% of what we sell, we use to fund various programs that we run. We do everything from a weekly meal delivery to shut-ins in our community, to Christmas presents, both for foster and for seniors. We do beds or clothing items for kids when they're removed from homes. And then we also, in the back of our shop, we have we call it the Resource Center. And we have a spot where teachers and social workers and foster families can come pick up items that they need for free. Those items range from diapers to pencils to headphones, kind of a little bit of everything and everything in between.
Where did this idea come from? Because it's not an obvious connection to use baseball cards, sports cards, and connect it to charitable endeavors. Can you go through the origin story for this?
Yeah, we're not quite Batman, although it'd be pretty cool, I guess, if we were. So we've been doing this now. We are in our 26th year of existence. And when I say that, it makes me feel older. I was one of those people that was born in the late 1900s. So, in my childhood, I had a lot of trauma. Really unsure kind of what to do with that, how to process those feelings. And so kind of coming out the other side of it, sports cards were something that I was always into, sports in general. And then I, like most Americans, probably didn't play sports longer than, my athletic career ended early. And so sports cards became something that kept me connected to the sports I loved. And then also allowed me kind of the social aspect that I was kind of lacking from the trauma. And it just kind of morphed into, how could I use these? What can I do with these? And thus birthed Cans Can. And so, like I said, 26 years doing it, still going strong. And so that's the long and the short of it.
It's look, when people go through trauma in their lives, sometimes it manifests in a negative way, and sometimes it manifests in a positive way. And a lot of times people have a hard time, being in control of what that's going to go. So I hope what I'm saying is not a negative towards people who don't, but I think it's a really cool thing that you have been able to take something that was not so great in your life and have turned it into a very positive thing on countless of people that you guys have impacted.
Yeah, no, and I don't think you're incorrect in that, because I, even myself in particular, I dealt with it negatively for a long time. And so, so it does manifest in different ways. And like I said, for a long time, I didn't handle it well. And so, coming out the other side of it, we were able to kind of mold that into what we do and how we serve. It definitely makes us keep our eyes open for those in need, because I know even when I was in the most need, I was really guarded with my story and was very hesitant to ask for help. And so even just going with that, it makes us definitely more open to those in need and looking for those in need.
The other thing that's really unique is you guys don't get pigeonholed in the way you want to help people. Earlier in our conversation, you went through all the different things that you do, but getting to know you a little bit, it really seems like if there's a need out there for somebody, whether it's under an umbrella that you guys are already doing or not, you really try to work hard to find a way to help that person or that situation.
Yeah, so our area is definitely low income. Our poverty rate at like our local grade school is really, really high. And so there's a lot of needs in our area. Social services are kind of dwindling a little bit. And so, so we, you mentioned the umbrella. We just try to make that umbrella bigger. And so when we started, We were focused on teachers and students, and then kind of just as the needs have presented them to us, we've kind of expanded. Like I said, we do meals now for seniors, we do foster care, a lot of everything. And honestly, sports and sports cards has allowed us to do that because we are self-funded, which is incredibly freeing. It's also terrifying because sometimes we don't know where the money is going to come from. But being funded the way we are and our angle, if you will, has allowed us kind of that flexibility to, when we see a need, we can meet it.
I didn't really know about you guys until our friend Ryan Fagan had wrote a story for the Sporting News about what you do. And then since then, you've been a little bit more visible around the Cardinals. Can you speak a little bit about maybe just the visibility that has gone along since that article, and also now the relationship and what you've been able to do with the Cardinals?
Yeah. So, first of all, we're always eternally grateful for Ryan and what he did and how he does a lot better job explaining things professionally than I do. And so, yeah. So since that article was written, it has definitely been really a blessing to us in that we are now connected with different people that we never would have been before. And one of the cooler things is, yeah. So right now we still have maintaining our partnership with the Cardinals. So they do. We make packs in our store and we ship them out. The Cardinals carry them in the Authentic shop in Ballpark Village and in stadium in center field. And then this year they also expanded it, and we are now at Roger Dean Stadium. So in the beautifully remodeled Roger Dean Stadium, they are now carrying them down there. So it has been, like I said, it's been really great to see the Metro community, because we're not Metro, we're Southern Illinois, we're in the middle of nowhere. Sometimes people will say, and so for those, like I said, for the Cardinals and even just those in general in the community in the St. Louis area, for them to take an interest in us and to assist us in what we're doing, it's been fantastic.
Yeah, so just for people going to Cardinals games or not, or just being around Ballpark Village, the Authentic store is right next to Cardinals Nation in Ballpark Village. Basically, you go through the same door, and then mention the in-stadium Authentics out there in center field. If you're listening to this and you want to have a positive impact on what they're doing, that's probably the easiest way. We'll get to your actual store location in a moment, but I always like the kind of the personal, emotional side of this. When you see a senior who needs your meals, when you see a teacher who might not have had the supplies in their classroom without getting help from you, when you see these things actually happen, can you tell me how that makes you feel?
Yeah, it is definitely it's a satisfying, fulfilling feeling, and that maybe sound like a really generic statement, but there really isn't words to kind of adequately express how that does feel, because like I said, when people come to us with a need, we always say we don't really need your story. We just want to know how to help you. And so, like I said, with how we've grown, proud is maybe not the right word, but it is a point of pride that we can definitely step up and do what you need to be done. And so, like I said, and like you said, if that means we have to start a new program, we're going to start a new program. And so, like I said, for example, our meals we've been doing since COVID, which was however long ago, eternity. But in COVID, we had a lot of seniors that came to us that weren't able to get out of their homes, and so we just started a meal program, and that's kind of carried on and maintained. And the same with beds with foster kids. We just had so many social workers coming up to us saying this kid's been removed from their home, they're sleeping on the floor, or they can't even go to a new home without a bed. And so as our eyes are open to different needs, it does definitely, like I said, it's fulfilling to know that we can meet that need.
We are talking with you just after opening day, and I know you guys went out and did opening day parties in classrooms around the area. Can you describe what you did and some of the different individuals who got involved with that?
Yeah. So in my perspective, or from my perspective, I feel like opening day should be at least a regional holiday, if not a national holiday. So that's always been something that I've been in love with. And so for the past, this will be our 5th or our 6th year. We go out into local classrooms. We make each kid a little pack, a little prize pack, if you will, treat bag. Put everything in there that is reminiscent of the ballpark. We do Big League Chew. We put Topps baseball cards in there, Cracker Jacks. And then we will actually go into the classrooms and we grilled hot dogs, serve drinks. And then we try every year to get at least a little video from a player or a former player to talk about their experiences with opening day. So this year we were able to get Greg Amsinger, St. Louis native. He sent us a video talking about what opening day meant to him as a kid. And we got Willie McGee, who has been a part of countless, obviously, opening days and got his perspective on being a player and a coach in different cities. In the past, we've had Benji Molina. Paul DeYoung did one for us a couple years ago. And so we really want to kind of make that special because a lot of the kids that we serve will never probably be able to afford going to a baseball game. And so just so we can bring a little bit, if you will, of that to them is something that we really want to do for them.
The website is canscanbenton.org. Follow on Twitter at canscanministry. If people want to make the short trip to the store, describe where it is, how to get there, when you guys are open, just everything that goes along with that.
Yeah, so our shop, if you are a shopper, we are in every other weekend. This isn't my day job. So we are in here on the weekends. And so if you find yourself traveling down 64 to 57, we are in Benton, Illinois. We used to say that we were next to the Dollar General, and that was the mark point for us. But now we have several Dollar Generals in the area. So our directions are on the website. We are available online. If there is anything that you're looking for, we can see if we can match up that way. We can always ship items. If you're listening to this and you're a teacher in the Southern Illinois area, we are always available for needs, foster, social service agencies. We're always available. My phone's always on. Our email's always dinging. So yeah, that's how you can find us.
Really, really cool. Greg, thank you so much for all that you do. And I'm glad that we've been able to interview you a few times. I'm sure it will continue on because I think the more people that we can share what you're doing, the more people are going to be impacted positively. So I really appreciate all the work you put into this.
Oh, no, absolutely. And thankfully this time I don't have to follow up Jeremiah Love, who is going to be a top 10 pick in the NFL draft. My daughter saw him on the TV the other day and she goes, "Dad, he was at Busch the last time." And she said, "She's way more famous than you." And I said, "Really, most people are, honey." So yes.
Very good. Well, Greg, thank you again. I appreciate your time.
Thank you.
That is Greg Poole joining us on the program. One of my favorite people out there, and just his spirit of service and how he gives back. Again, all the details, canscanbenton.org. If you're at Busch Stadium at a game, go to the Cardinals Authentic Store inside of the ballpark. If you're outside, if you're at Ballpark Village, you can go over to the Authentic Store just outside of a Cardinal Nation restaurant. Really, really cool. Greg's one of my favorite people out there, and the fact that he is so willing to help so many people, it is absolutely amazing. What an incredible story. We appreciate Busey Bank, building community with Busey Bank beyond the game. At Busey Bank, they believe that every community project, every volunteer hour, every local initiative starts with people who choose to get involved through their partnerships and volunteer programs. They are here to support the communities that we all call home. Busey Bank, building extraordinary together. We'll take a break. We got more coming up in just a moment. This is a Gray Bar Sports Open Line on KMOX.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-478-6430 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-478-6430. That's 800-478-6430. What do you have to lose? Call 800-478-6430. Again, 800-478-6430.
Renewal by Andersen is the #1 window and door brand for customer service. Schedule your free inspection today. Call 877-WINDOWS. That's 877-WINDOWS. Or head to rbastl.com.
Get ready to laugh out loud, St. Louis. The outrageous Broadway hit Spam-A-Lot is riding into the fabulous Fox Theater May 5th through the 17th. From the twisted minds of Monty Python, this Tony Award-winning musical brings you killer rabbits, dancing knights, and non-stop hilarity. It's the legend of King Arthur like you've never seen it before. More information can be found at KMOX.com/events.
Is your home, business, or church looking tired, chalky, or in need of curb appeal? Go Rhino. Tired of painting year after year? Go Rhino. Our unique 3M ceramic technology is perfect for brick, stucco, aluminum, steel, color lock masonite, and more. It's backed by our 25-year transferable warranty to not chip, crack, or peel. Great if you're staying, and even better if you're selling. Our ceramic coating allows you to maintain all of your architectural features. The decision to do vinyl will leave your home looking like a plastic moldy box. With Rhino Shield, in 15 years, your home will still have that, wow, it looks like you just got it painted. We've done large condo complexes, parking garages, pole barns, and commercial strip malls. We coat sloped and flat roofs to extend their lives too. Evaluations are free. 877-25-RHINO or 877-25rhino.com. See what we did there? Genius. Tell them, ladies.
Don't paint, don't vinyl, go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
Bringing a data center online takes more than equipment. It takes precision. Graybar helps customers predict, stage, schedule, deliver, and verify every step of the build with critical products that are available now. From networking and wireless to critical power and testing tools, our teams help you reduce downtime risk and keep projects on track. Speed, scale, ready now. Yep, Graybar does that.
Giddy up! It's the Cardinal Cowboy. Is your garage door past its prime? Get a free repair or replacement quote from Renner Garage Door. Renner is America's oldest family-owned garage door company that serves both wholesale and retail markets. Right now, get $100 off a new garage door when you mention this ad. With trusted brands like Delden, Amar, LiftMaster, you know it's built to win. Renner's also hiring experienced techs and installers. RennerDoorSTL.com. Forward and back.
RENNER, RENNER.
Hi, this is Charlie Brennan. I see clearly now thanks to the doctors, Greg Birdie, Ranjan Malhotra, Robert Brusati, and Andy Royer. You can too. YourEyeDoc.com.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm. Over 35 years, I've seen it all. Car crashes, work injuries, defective products, medical mistakes, lives flipped upside down in an instant. But I've also seen something else, the power of fighting back, the power of winning. Over $30 billion recovered and counting. Size matters, reputation matters, results matter. There's only one Morgan & Morgan.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements. Past results afford no guarantee of future results. Every case is different and must be judged on its own merits.
Welcome back to the Graybar Sports Open Line. Once again, Matt Pauley on KMOX.
We are starting to wrap up this edition of a Graybar Sports Open Line right here on KMOX. My name is Matt Pauley. Cardinals baseball tomorrow playing in the afternoon. 12:10 first pitch as the Cardinals and Tigers will play in Detroit. That's the Tigers home opener, so the Cardinals get to be part of multiple home openers this year, their own, plus they'll go into Detroit. Always cool when that happens. You'll have teams sometimes that's because of a quirk in the schedule are part of like 3 or 4 opening days. Kind of weird, doesn't happen that often. I think most teams are generally involved in 2 their own, and they generally are starting a road trip or a homestand either before or after, and it all works out. But yes, Cardinals will be in Detroit for the Tigers home opener. Of course, nobody does opening day like St. Louis. But 12:10 first pitch tomorrow, 11:15 for pregame. The great Scott Warman is going to be in on Cardinals pre and post tomorrow. I've got some family stuff going on, so I'll be off tomorrow. But yeah, Scott's going to be in, and then because the game is an afternoon game And the Dave Glover Show is not going to be a full edition of the Dave Glover Show. And we have to make sure that Kevin Wheeler puts in a full work day. I say tongue in cheek. Kevin's actually going to be doing Sports Open Line coming up tomorrow night from 6 o'clock to 8 o'clock. So appreciate Kevin doing that. I think Joe Potts got you for Cardinals baseball over the weekend for pre-post. And then I'll be back with you coming up on Monday for a little bit of Redbird rush hour before. No, I guess not. We won't even have Redbird rush hour because that game against the Nationals on Monday is going to be a 5:45 first pitch. I wanted to talk about this real quick, and this isn't worth spending a lot of time on, but I've got opinions. I've got opinions on a lot of things. I've got opinions on people and organizations that issue statements of apology. And there are certainly times where you need to issue an apology statement. One of my biggest pet peeves are when people say, if you were offended. You would not be issuing an apology more often than not, and maybe that's not true because of what I'm about to talk about, but generally speaking, you're not issuing an apology if you did not legitimately offend people. So instead of saying, if you were offended, you say, for those I offended, ... If I could have like a side hustle writing apology statements, I think I could do pretty good in that. I feel that that's an area that needs work, and I think I've got the certain skill set where I could help people issue the correct apology statements. But we don't always need apologies. And this is certainly a category here where there is no need for an apology statement. The Washington Wizards issued a statement of apology for an April Fool's Day prank. So here's what happened. They pulled a fan, and I'll use air quotes when I say fan. They pulled a fan out of the stands and brought them onto the floor to hit a half-court shot for $10,000. Now, what they did was they put a blindfold on the fan. The fan wildly missed the shot, and then they acted like he made the shot when he took the blindfold off. So he thinks he's won $10,000, and then they tell him, womp womp, you didn't actually win $10,000. You didn't actually make the shot. We were just having fun with you. All right, so that sounds kind of mean-spirited, right? Like, I get that it's mean-spirited, and if that was the whole story, then an apology or something, and I'm just giving the guy $10,000, that would probably make sense. So they put that out on social media. Again, it was on April 1st. We know about April 1st. We know it's April Fool's Day. The whole thing was a gag. The individual that was shooting the shot was a plant and missed the shot basically on purpose and knew exactly what was going on. So the whole thing was a skit. It was a skit. People were upset. All you have to say at that point was, it was a joke. Not everybody was not everybody viewing the social media stuff knew it was a joke. The person shooting the shot was in on it. We didn't actually take $10,000 away from somebody. That's all you have to say. It's not an issue. It's an explanation. It's not an apology. Instead, the Washington Wizards said, quote, "We apologize for last night's April Fool's joke that left many wondering if we had misled a fan. The skit involving our mascot and other members of our performance team was scripted and intended to celebrate the day. All participants were in on the joke, but we missed the mark," unquote. No, you didn't. It's kind of funny. People are talking about it. You don't need to issue an apology here. Like, who cares that people on social media for 7 seconds were upset about this when they thought it was a real fan? There was no need to issue the apology from the Washington Wizards. Just explain that the person was in on it and it was just a big April Fool's joke. I would disagree with the Washington Wizards. I don't think they actually, quote, missed the mark, unquote. That is going to do it for this edition of a Gray Bar Sports Open Line. Again, Cardinals baseball tomorrow, 12:10 first pitch. They open up a series in Detroit against the Tigers. And then we've got Sports Open Line tomorrow night. Kevin Wheeler is going to be with you, starting with Redbird Rush Hour and going all the way till 8. He's going to have a lot of time. So Dave Glover's show is probably going to get going 3:30, 4 o'clock, and Kevin's part of that, and he's just going to roll all the way through till 8 o'clock. Thanks so much for being tuned in tonight. We will talk to you again tomorrow not tomorrow. Kevin will talk to you tomorrow. I'll talk to you again on Monday for another Gray Bar Sports Open Line. I won't even have you on. I don't know what I'm doing here. We won't even have you on. We'll have Cardinals baseball coming up on Monday. Nonetheless, talk to you on Monday here on KMOX.
This